Yo, we're back again for another one. It's the Anything Goes podcast. I'm here with the crew. I'm here with the AGP family. I'm here with everybody. Everybody out there, what y'all dealing with? How y'all doing? Everybody good? Cherie, what's going on with you?
Good. Ready.
Ready to have this discussion? What's going on, Mr.
Yes.
Reza?
Yo, I'm here.
Everybody good out there? What's going on, Sharp Mizzle?
Living and loving life, family.
No, it go already. No, uncool tree, the thing go. T over there. T, what's going on with you?
Loving life. What's up, peoples? How y'all doing tonight?
Hope everybody out there doing good. T, we do realize that you are loving life. I did see you out there getting the mani petty and all this type of stuff.
Oh yes. Had to get them roots done, Had to get them feet taken care of. Andy, my man, rubbed me down there. Took me over.
Okay now,
Hey,
okay.
that's a little bit too much.
She playing footsies with Andy.
Andy, are going with things.
Yeah,
Footsies with Andy, huh?
Andy is magic on the feet, man. I tell you, he's magic on the feet. Yeah.
That's right, man. In that case, me not gonna say Andy in that case.
Yeah.
Out there enjoying life a little bit too much. Yeah, man. So everybody good. I'm glad to hear everybody good. Razor, you ain't give us a weather update today, man. We gonna fire you, although you usually wrong anyway.
Hey, the weatherman get paid to be wrong. Why can't I get paid to?
Evidently. Yeah, we came here today. It's a special podcast session today. We usually don't step out on Tuesday nights, but we came here tonight to talk critical race theory. For those of y'all out there who doesn't know what that means, well, I guess you could say it has a lot of meaning to it, but in particular, it has certain meaning to certain folks. Certain people try to find a new meaning for it. But critical race theory, CRT, is a body of legal scholarship and academical movement of the civil rights scholars and activists in the United States that seek to critically examine U.S. laws as it intersects with the issues of race in the U.S. and to challenge the mainstream America liberal approach of racial justice. So meaning the man trying to hold us down and we got to fight back. No, but there's a lot of different ways we can approach critical race theories. Critical race theory. Let's start off by just throwing out, in your opinion, of some of the stuff that you see take place around the area in the Americas. Let's start off with you, Cherie. Let's throw out some issues that you see take place around in the Americas.
Of course, police brutality is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
With women and black women and men. We're not just gonna say black men, black women and men, kids. They don't care who it is, how old you are. You can be old, crippled. They don't care. They don't care.
That's evident.
Yep, they don't care at all, at all.
What about you, short man? You're mute, short man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at it from this side. As it relates to, white privilege is a part of critical race theory. So, when we think about that, is let's say a black person or a person of color go to a store, and honestly, it happens to more black people than anyone else. White people are not going to get followed around the store. They're going to get assisted, by the clerk. If you're walking down the street, no one's going to cross the street trying to get away from you because you're walking down the street as a black person, right? So, that's just a part of it. Critical race theory in itself, people right now, they're trying to make it, like you said, give it this new meaning, where it's so far from what it really is, because quite honestly, you cannot teach this to kindergartners, to 8th graders, and even 12th graders. because it's just so much that is into it that you have. I mean, legal scholars are studying this for 40 years plus, and so I just think we have to not let this be defined by anyone else with bad intentions. We should really get a hold of the information that people are getting. People need to really go do their research and not take the word of someone that doesn't have their best interests at heart.
That's true. I agree with that. What about you, Razor?
Uh, I look on it from a history point of view. Just being woke of what's going on. Like we said, just the systemic thing that happens to black people all the time. So we just, I look from it as being woke, teaching the history so everybody knows, hey, sometimes we are suppressed of things that that we don't even necessarily know we are being oppressed of, and we just have to be awoke and know what we are doing, and just let everybody know everything that's going on. So you know we, we don't necessarily other races doesn't they look at it as a bad thing when they should look at it as a learning thing. We all could learn together and come to a common ground when we look at critical race theory. So it's just a learning thing for me. Everybody needs to learn, and so we could move forward. But if we have a standpoint from we're not willing to learn from each other, then we're just going to keep going through the same cycle. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. What about you, T?
I think it's mostly being blown out of proportion. We all are very aware of the current issues that there are with race. The blatant ones that you can see. Critical race theory is mostly a group of lawyers, professionals who learn not only just the law, but also learn the history. And they go through and they point and pinpoint things that have been brought against us that we can't see clearly, and it's a theory group, because it's their theory, and they work on changing it to see if things can be changed. But I think right now it's being blown out of proportion, just like everything in America. Whenever it's something new, whenever it's something people don't know about, they love to instill fear in us, and they never point out any of the positive components of what's going on. They always seem to just focus on negative things. I saw a video where the guy was saying that they're teaching kids. They actually had a black man stand up in the middle of a school board meeting, outraged, saying that they wanted to teach kids to hate each other. And that's not at all what they're doing. They're trying to work behind the scenes and work out some of these things that the government has built in that they didn't realize caused the loophole in the racial segregation and continuing to put us down. Um, I think it's a disservice to say we can't teach the children because you're teaching the children one aspect when they can easily go on to Google and look up the true history of what Abraham Lincoln did, what George Washington did. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like you're teaching the kids that they're stupid. We're going to teach you what we want to teach you in school. Not saying that you have to teach hate, but it's nothing wrong with
but,
educating. Hate comes from ignorance.
my
And
problem is, sorry to
no, you're
my
good.
yeah,
Uh,
my issue is that they always seek to conflate. They always seek to mix up things. Learning history is not critical race theory. They're two separate things. Teaching the
mhm.
kids about slavery, about what happened, with Reconstruction, with Jim Crow, with any of that stuff. Teaching that stuff has nothing to do with critical race theory itself,
Uh-uh.
right? Like you said, T, that's a theory, that's a construct, that's an idea that they're trying to flush out to see if they can better present it to understand why certain racial groups are oppressed. And it's not just necessarily that only black people are oppressed, because Latinos are in the same boat, but they try to pit us against each other.
Mm-hmm.
using
Mm-hmm.
this kind of language. Right now, they're trying to separate us from
They're
everybody
trying to
else.
scare.
Yeah,
Fear.
from
Fear
everybody else.
divides everything.
Trying to otherize us, right? Black people, otherize, trying to make it so that
Mm-hmm.
we're on this side and everybody else is over here because we're trying to teach kids in school to hate. And that
Yeah.
is so far from the truth. And I wish my people, and I mean people of sound mind, would just go out and do your research and don't let some guy on the television tell you that all of a sudden critical race theory is being racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
That is crazy.
if I'm not mistaken, the only places that it's being taught is in college
Thank you.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
It is.
that's a class where they teach you everything. It's being put
Mhm.
into the law program and all,
Yeah, law
which you need,
school.
but you need, if you're going to be a lawyer and you may do a civil rights case, you need to
You need to
understand
learn.
these kind of
Hmm.
components.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is what America always does, unfortunately, and they're scaring us by saying, oh, they're going to put this in elementary school. See, if they get America scared and say, no, we're not going to do it, guess what? It bans it in colleges too. So they're trying to get rid of any kind of knowledge of it whatsoever, because if they teach it, then it has to be factual.
Yeah, well,
It's
So
what that
just it's
go
a,
ahead.
it's it's just a fear that they have,
They do.
yeah.
and it boils down to this too. We look at voting because a kid might grow up and say, hey, what they was doing to these group of people was wrong, and this is the correct way to do it. So if they stop that type of thinking, then they control the narrative, and they'll always control that narrative. So what they're trying to do is stop that narrative from moving forward from the right thing.
Yeah,
So
because they basically fear, because just like they did how they tried not to integrate us back then, they trying to stop it now. They don't want no kids to learn. They don't want them, but they don't, like, most of the people that I've seen talk is like, I've seen a lot of white women talk about it. I saw one video that one of the ladies was in school like, I don't want my kids learning
Yeah, I saw
about racism. Yeah.
learning what their forefathers, their ancestors.
Mhm, yes. And I'm like, what? First, like, they don't know what they're talking about. And now they're gonna make it a big issue. And I'm thinking they're gonna make it a big issue. Now that election stuff is coming out, this is gonna be the big thing now for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're using it. That's the whole thing. They're using it as a ploy. They're, you know,
It's a
a
scare
way
tactic.
to stop, like
Yeah.
ignorance is bliss. As long as people don't know, then, we can keep continuing the cycle. But once people get to know it, then that is where the problem comes in. So what do? They're not afraid of it. They don't want it to get out. They don't want people to have this kind of knowledge and see what can be done, because once you see it, then most people are going to want to be motivated to change it. So if they stop people from learning it, if you're teaching people this in the universities, then that's the future. These are the kids who are going to come out and become the lawyers. They're going to become the senators. They're going to become the president. So if you're teaching them that out of high school, as soon as they get out of their parents' home where their parents have already brainwashed them to hate, and then they go into school and then they learn something like this, that can change that person's mind. And that's what they don't want, So they want to scare us by saying, oh, they're going to teach people to hate, like I saw something where they were saying that they want to put in the curriculum to teach white boys that they are overprivileged, and they're going to the far extremes of what it actually is, but fear drives us, if we're scared, we'll do whatever they tell us to do. So that's
But
It
what
is,
they're
it's
but the
banking
just
thing
on.
is,
crazy because in Germany, they teach the Holocaust.
Yeah.
They teach it over there without no issue, no problem.
They teach
Not
it
at
here.
all.
We teach
Yes.
everything as part of a history. We learn about the Holocaust in a whole nother country more than we learn about
It's just
slavery
United
that was here in our own country.
yeah,
that,
I
that
mean,
is true. And
because I
but
was
I want to say, how do we go forward without knowing the truth? How do we have that conversation? Because if they're constantly going to say, well, discredit it, we'll never move forward because like we don't know they will never know the truth, and I think that's what's this all about, stopping it.
That's a part of their stated goal too, right? So there's a couple different angles. It's for the political season, the new boogeyman that they need to so-called drive out their base, because these guys are, a lot of these guys are lawyers, so they really know what it means. They're lawyers. They're not dummies, but they know if they conjure up a boogeyman just for about a year and a half until election time, they can get the scared people out, like you said, T. They can get the scared people out. They can get them out to the polls, and then they can get back in power.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now I'm saying now the other part of it is, my issue is, why is it when it comes time to talk about race and discuss how racism is affecting us, and how to move forward and to teach people about racism so it doesn't keep perpetuating itself forever, there's a problem when it comes time to talk about race. That's something that really disturbs me, because people have no problems with talking about other issues in society. True. But whenever it's to talk about race, to talk about the betterment of Black people, or to figure out how we come up with better systems that also works for us and not just everybody else, it's a problem.
Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Helping talking about Black issues as a boogeyman.
It's like they'll go forward more and they'll have more empathy to someone because they choose to sleep with the same sex than they do someone who was born of a certain skin color. It's like they use, like, even not to take anything from it, but a lot of the rights that the LGBTQRS, the alphabet, a lot of their rights, they came off of the piggyback of, well, Black people went through this and this is what we're going through. Like, they really compared who they have sex with to us being born with the color of our skin. And it's like they use that. However, when it's a Black issue, you don't get that same support, from everybody. It's like everybody's like, oh, we're tired of hearing about you guys being Black already. Okay, we heard it all. We're done with it all. Let's just turn around and act like it never happened.
Let's
and
move along.
That's not what you could do.
They want the sorry. They want the kids to learn about, oh yeah, slavery, but it was abolished. It's all gone, but we still going through a lot. We still going through a lot.
We are, because a lot of them themselves honestly have no idea of the things that the critical race theorists are bringing to light. They're like adults. There are senators. They are people who are completely blinded, and this information that this group of people are bringing forth, they're working with them, and that's all it is. It's not a ploy to take over America and make white people slaves and we be the slave masters. Like, Black people are some of the most forgiving, the most understanding people, and that's to all races, but
they want
like that's the scare tactic,
Like we always are the ones that are expected to be forgiven, and be magnanimous and everything else, right? Yeah. Under the sun.
True.
But we are not offered the same humanity and the same decency, no matter how hard we try, no matter how good we do in life, no matter how decent we are, we're still treated as if we're nothing. I mean, that's just.
I don't even think we're second-class citizens.
No. Not even. I mean, 3/5 of human beings has been generous. 3/5 has been real generous. I mean, they don't treat us that well. So
very generous.
Yeah.
So,
very.
Yeah.
I remember we was talking earlier today, Sharp Man, about some of them acting like they don't believe the stuff that's going on. They're fully aware of what's going on. They're pretending to act like they don't know. They're pretending to act like they think the election was stolen. They're pretending to act like they don't see that there's stuff happening to Black people. They're pretending to act like we're not getting murdered by the police. Or they're pretending like this stuff doesn't happen when they know good and well that it happens. They just don't care, and they use it for their talking point. They use it to be able to stand on what they think should happen in the country. That we shouldn't have a voice unless it's with them, and then they should be able to tell us whatever they want us to do. Basically, Now we out of bonded slavery. They trying to put us in mind slavery. Like you gonna do
Yep.
what we want you to do.
They
Yeah.
want mental slavery is definitely something that they're pushing, boy. I mean, the fact that you don't want to educate your young child to understand what happened in history,
Mhm.
because
Exactly.
as far as I see it now, they're trying to rebuild history. They're
Yeah.
doing revisionist history. They're trying to rewrite history as
Yeah.
if all the bad stuff didn't happen. Oh yeah, there was this
Oh yeah.
time, but it
Mhm.
wasn't bad though. It wasn't really
Oh,
bad.
they
It
was
benefits
free,
Uh-uh,
but
too.
we
they're
were
not
free. We were free.
trying. They're
They
not
are.
trying. That's what
They
they've
are.
done.
Hey,
That no,
hey,
that's
check,
the
Exactly.
hey,
problem.
check,
That's
check.
what they've
They,
done.
Fair
Like
Because
enough.
what
I know
people
for
don't
a fact in
understand
two
is
states.
like it's hard for
Mhm.
people from other countries to fully get and understand it, because like you are now here in America, but you know where you came from. You came here by choice. You were taught what you were taught. Whereas it's like taking people on what's that series where they go in the woods and drop people off and have them survive.
Survival.
Survivor.
Survival,
Survival.
it's survivor, it's like they took us, they dropped us off on this island called America.
Like naked and
they
afraid.
they gave us our history, they gave us our religion, they gave us our
Hey,
own mental thoughts of
our
who we
last
as
name,
black people were.
first name.
Like they gave us everything, we were completely robbed of everything, placed on this island, ripped to shreds, you know what I mean? And then one day we just woke up and they were like, "You're free."
well,
You're free. And
they,
that was it. Like that was it. It was no kind of um trying to reprogram us. There was no counseling given to us. There was nothing to rebuild us truly to make us feel like we had a good history, and then we go to school and we're taught that these people who did this to us are heroes. They're heroes.
Exactly.
How would it feel if you knew that Captain America actually went to Jamaica and ripped off half the island and killed them, but then he comes to the rest of the world and it's like, oh, he's a hero, like this is
Yeah,
what
that's
Like
was
sad.
done to
you
us.
mean like
And
Lucifer Columbus?
Yeah,
yeah, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Like
I,
they
Like,
want us to
I,
know, oh, he discovered
sorry, YouTube.
America, but no, he
Sorry,
actually
YouTube.
stole it.
I have a problem talking YouTube. So if the algorithm is listening, I was a mistake. I slip up on words sometimes because I'm a foreigner. I didn't mean to say Lucifer Columbus. I meant to say Christopher Columbus. But yeah,
yes, yes. But that's the kind of stuff, and it's like we want to say that, racism just died when slaves became free, but we see throughout the times and having to change laws and the wars we've had within, it hasn't and it still
Yeah.
hasn't. And that's all this group is doing. This
I,
group is looking for a way to change,
no.
But they don't
and
want,
they're
just like
Eh,
the
eh,
white man want to tell his history, not history. Like
yeah.
they always do. Just like they want to talk about Robert E. Lee and how he was a great general confederate, but he owned slaves. Like y'all want to say the good things, y'all want to say the nice things about people. Y'all don't want to teach about the back end, the what they did.
mm-hmm.
To get where they at.
they downplay history,
Hmm.
and just like in the history books, slaves was paid workers. I mean, what part of slavery was paid workers?
I don't know.
What
If you
part
a
what
slave,
part of
how
me
did you
getting
get paid?
yeah what part of me getting whipped across my back was
that was your
so
pay, boy. That was your pay.
What you talking about? That's a free tattoo. That wasn't a free tattoo.
that's a free scar, man. That's a free
Yeah.
scar.
You got a scholarship through a whipping, boy.
I
Mm-mm-mm.
mean, I just think we have to we the people, we have to just take the narrative over. We have to reclaim it. We can't sit back and let them feed this BS out to everybody. And then, like I said, people need to just start doing some research. Go read a book every now and then. Go just put it. You can find many articles on critical race theory and articles on slavery, and you can separate what the two are really about and
Mhm.
the history of black people in this country, which is, you can go do that research, because I tell you what happens if we do not do that research and we don't learn from it. We're going to repeat a whole lot of bad stuff. And yeah, we may not be in bondage right now, but worse than mental slavery is the systemic slavery, right? This systemic racism that goes on. Example: white guy, black guy go for the same job. both qualified. Black guy might have a little more qualifications. Interviewer is white. Who you think he's likely to hire? Even
Not
though the
me.
black guy may have more qualifications, he's
Not
likely
me.
to hire.
Not
So that's that unconscious bias. He may not think he is,
It's
but
not
he feels
unconscious.
more. He feels more comfortable hiring the white guy for some reason.
It's not unconscious at all. But let's take a quick break. Everybody that's on the live, please like, share. Please like, share. Andreas, big up yourself. UK, big up yourself. Lewis, big up yourself. Sweet Spices, big up yourself. Everybody else that's out there on the live, big up on yourself. You pass through, please like, share. If you ain't subscribe yet. Share it on your social media so other people can jump in on the conversation with us.
All right, let me respond to Lewis Hannah. Yeah, whitewash. Yeah, you're right, Lewis. They are trying to just erase, trying to eradicate, for lack of a better word. Probably might be the best word to use. They're trying to get rid of the fact that racism exists.
Yeah.
And that slavery was a real thing. People may not be in chains right now, but we want to talk about it so that doesn't even have a chance of even happening again. We want everybody to understand the racism and not to whitewash it or do this revisionist history. We're trying to rewrite what really happened. Trying to make up your own version of history is not cool. That is not a thing. Stop it, please.
I do want to say, like, when things like this come up, what we, because of technology, and I'm gonna say yes, because of technology, we have the lazy way of doing research now. So typically when you see something or hear something, you go to Google and you put in Google. What you're not realizing is Google is not putting in on factual to the top. Google's putting in on what got the most views, what most people are looking at. If you really want to know about critical race theory, not even watching this podcast is where you should start. You should start by actually going to these people who are part of that group, listening to what they are saying, formulating your own opinion, and going from there.
I think we're doing a good job. I think it's a good.
We're doing a great job because we're bringing awareness to it, but that's why so many people are confused about it. They're going to Google and the top rated ones are these people who are talking bad about critical race theory. You know what I mean? So you don't even really get to see the people and their points if you go to Google. Whereas back in our day when we did research, what we do, we pulled out an encyclopedia.
Exactly.
Like
good old Britannica. Good old Britannica.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of people don't know how to properly research,
No, they don't.
Where to get their sources from and all that stuff, because like we were saying, you go and you read something from someone and the source is bobo.com, so
bias.
We were talking about that yesterday on our conspiracy theory podcast. We was like, they be posting out stuff and the source be like, your mama punched me in the face.com. When you're citing your source, this is your source that you're citing. Like, come on, man, get out of here. Kareem, big up yourself. Lola, big up yourself. Peaches, big up yourself. Jumping on the conversation with us, man. Throw y'all conversation in. We want some feedback while we talk. Feedback is necessary.
That is so true, Andres. You have to.
At home, yes,
we do.
I teach my kids. We all teach our kids at home. We have to.
Same thing Sweet Spices was saying too. We got to teach our kids.
You have
definitely
to, because they're not gonna learn. They're not gonna learn it from school because they teach the basic.
Even with Juneteenth, I
don't teach that.
School. I wasn't taught Juneteenth in school.
I wasn't taught to. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of teaching your kids, because in order to teach your kids, you're gonna do research. You know what I mean? So just like when you read a book, if you read it for the second time, you're gonna pick up on parts that you may have missed before. So when you do that research, you're re-educating yourself and educating your child. We need to do our own research. Stop going to non-credible sources for your information, because it'll have you fighting a war that
well.
You shouldn't even be on that side. You shouldn't even be on that side.
We were talking about that. Like, a lot of people don't know this. The daughters of the Confederacy basically wrote the history books that your kids learn in school. So what they didn't want their forefathers and their great grandfathers to look like devil, so they'll cut out some stuff, and that's why I raised it to tell you that they said we were indentured workers. We weren't. We were paid workers. We weren't slaves.
Exactly.
Yeah, indentured servitude. Really, that's what they're going with. That's the hill.
Indentured
That's the hill they want to
servants.
die on.
Yeah.
But
And
which is
but,
crazy.
but,
But
but
it's
and that, and
crazy
that's
One
is
more time.
On. They died
what
on
is
it, put the
crazy is
flag
they
on it.
start in like certain states. Like I was reading, and I know Iowa and Idaho, I think they have instructed the teachers not to teach about anything. And then there's certain states that don't even mention slavery at all in school.
Yeah.
There's certain ones that do mention the civil rights, but there's some of them that don't. Some kids don't even know about nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then when they go join the military now and have to be around black people, now they don't know what to do, how to conduct themselves. They have no
Exactly.
idea. So I met a guy in the military.
Mhm.
Honest to God, I was living in California, Oakland, California, as a matter of fact. And he had never hung out with a black person, didn't have any black friends. Oh, he saw him on TV. And this is Arkansas, as a matter of fact.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, as a matter of fact. And I was like, wow. And this was like
Where Bill
1990. This was 1991, 92. So I was like, really? And this guy, young white dude, I mean, over time, I became his mentor over time. A person that he had never hung out with, anybody that looked like me, didn't have any friends that looked like me, just saw us on TV in his little town. They didn't have it in his little town. And, I became his mentor because he didn't know any better. And I wasn't going to punish him for not knowing any better. I was going to teach him, and over time we became friends. And that's okay. But the issue is that's going to be the problem. They're not teaching their kids. They don't want the school to teach them, and they're not teaching them. So by default, they're just letting it all just hang out there that nothing happened, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing of them trying to, well, not trying to. We already
We're established that they're doing it.
conclusion that they're basically rewriting history to make themselves look like they were the heroes. We were some monkeys in the woods, and they flew down in their big white capes and came and saved us. Yeah.
Saved. We are saved. They
There you
saved
go,
us.
monkeys.
See,
Yes,
the
the masters are here. They gonna
I think
save
the
us.
problem is their answer, is that of a fairy tale. Like we say we want equality, and their answer to giving us equality is that there's no color. This whole we're all one color, there's no color blindness is BS. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I know what the color of my skin is. You know what the color of your skin is. So to act like the color of our skin isn't relevant itself is preposterous. Why would you tell someone that, oh, there's no difference? There is a difference.
You want to know why? Because guess what?
Because if they act like there's no color, and then they can not deal with the actual problem.
Well, pretty much. Well, and they use this. They're using this thing saying, well, we elected a black president, so now America's post-racial. No, it got worse. The crazies, the ones with these crazy thoughts, are now free to come out and express themselves in this nasty way. I mean, really, we're not post-racial. It's worse than it was before. Now, granted, they were there before. They weren't not there. They were just not free to come out and roam about. They're like the cockroaches. They had to stay in the dark.
They just
stay in the dark.
They just needed an enabler. That's all.
Here's the thing.
Yes, it
Times
is
they felt
insulting.
safe. You ever been in high school, right? And there was a kid in high school that always acted like he was tough because there was a bunch of kids around him that made him feel like he was tough. So it came to a point where he just know that his toughness was there because of them. So he would just sit back and look at you like, man, I'll whoop on you anytime I want to. But really, he can't. It's just because he have the people around him.
He had a gang behind him.
And that's what it was. They knew that, hey, we really can't beat them. But if we pretend like we can beat them and sit in the corner, we know. To be
So
honest,
you have friends like that that nobody messed with them because of you. So
I'm a witness to that. I'm a witness to that. it's a thing like I look at pick up my little baby sister Stefani. What's going on, girl? Um, when I look at it, it's a thing like this now. Um, they tell you that and Obama is a black president by their direction of black, because they claim if you got a drop of black in you, you're black, right?
Yeah, that's the one drop rule. Yeah.
Obama is still come from he was our first mixed president. We still haven't have the first fully black president yet. I'm not taking it away from Obama because I was a
I was
supporter.
about to say. I was about to say.
But I
I'm
understand
about
what
to,
you're
I'm about to
saying.
look at you.
Yeah, they might come for you on this one. They might come for you
Yeah,
on
we're
this
gonna
one.
come for you on this one because they look at us as
Look,
Yeah.
everybody that know me know that I'm an Obama supporter, but I do beat Obama when it's necessary because I don't agree with everything that he do. 'Cause
No.
you have to be a psychotic clown to agree with something, to agree with everything a person does.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It's called a sycophant.
Very much so. Very much so. You know. So,
completely.
so when Lou said they don't. Yeah, we covered that before you got in, Lou, and Lou did state that he came in a little late. But yeah, they're not teaching this to kids because I'm watching on CNN. I'm watching on MSNBC, ABC, where you have these white parents in these town hall, like somebody is paying them to go to town hall and make a whole bunch of noise about
Losing their mind.
about slavery. Somebody
No,
is
they're black
they're,
parents doing it too.
they're finding checks going into accounts from all over different. But these rich people know how to mask their stuff. They're finding checks going into people's accounts from all over, and these people
Grease and
are on
palms.
there making the excitement about stuff. It's
Grease and
I'm
palms.
telling you what
Yes,
happened because
yes.
where it's being taught is when the kids finally leave mom and dad's home, when they go off to college and they're learning this, and then they come home on their summer break and they're talking to their parents as most kids do about what they learned in school, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, did you know that this
What?
neighborhood does not allow certain poverty class to be in it, or certain buildings can't be," and they're bringing it to their parents' attention, and the parents are like, "What are they teaching you in
Yeah,
school?
but
I pay for this. I
but T,
pay for this.
but T,
What are
you know
they
the bad,
teaching you in school?" Like
T,
the
the
parents
bad
are
part.
losing their mind, right? So what they're doing is they know that no one's got the if you go and argue, "You're teaching my child this in college," people are going to say, "Well, your child's an adult. Your child has a choice. Your child elected that. Your child can come in here and speak on their own," right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to mind manipulate, as they always do, and get us with saying they're teaching it through K through 12.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, they're
and
not
right.
doing that.
And
I saw
T,
someone say that at Rosa Parks, a teacher had their class in Philly demonstrate a Rosa Parks, learn about Rosa Parks during Black History Month, and then they did a protest march, and they were like, "This is what they're teaching critical race theory to our children," and I'm like, that is
again,
not.
yeah,
What are you talking
again,
about? That's
the mislabeling of that term. We must seek to. We need to be able to separate those people on the live. Let's be able to understand and separate those two things. But like you were saying, T, the kids in college, the kids are more receptive. The kids, they don't want to be separated from their black and Latinos and other races counterpart. They want to be together. They all want to be together. It's the parents, this old frame of mind, this old mentality. God bless them. They need to wipe a bunch of them out. Let's take them all to heaven right now. They need to take them all to heaven right now because they are holding the kids back. They are holding the kids back. They need to somebody say amen. Let the crowd say amen. Come on. They need to take them. They need to take them and free the kids because the kids want to be together. When they get to college and they're like, man, the black kids are cool. Oh, the Asian kids are cool. Oh, the Latino kids are cool. Oh, man, they're all cool. Let's all be together. The parents do not want that because it doesn't suit their narrative of these political class. The political class don't want that to happen. So they go scare the parents who then go to the kids, and then the kids get old enough that they're like, man, mom and dad, get out of here with that.
Because
I do not want to hear you.
Just like you were saying earlier, Charmin, there's kids that have never ever left their town, have never seen black people. That of course they don't teach nothing. Exactly. So when they go somewhere, they're like a deer in the headlight. They're like, what is oh my, and they don't know nothing. And some of
But
them are innocent, like they poor babies. They don't know nothing. You know, it's not like us. Like we've been, you know, we know all everybody, white, black, fit. Everywhere we go, we even if the predominantly black community, you gonna see 2 or 3 white people somewhere in there. You're gonna see Hispanic in there. You're gonna see you're gonna see some ever trickled around somewhere, Chinese somewhere in there.
all over there. And you know, it's funny. I like what Sweet Pisces said. You know, I hate when people tell me they don't see color.
Yeah,
I see color every day.
You can't be. We
I
see
know
it.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I know
That doesn't make any
Mexican.
sense.
I know the other one around the corner, Chinese. I know the other one around the corner, black. I see color every day.
Yeah, because
That's that fairy tale.
but you know what? They say they don't see color, but at the same time, that when they come out with this critical race theory, they're saying they're teaching us to be less white. So how can you not see color if you're teaching if you're coming out saying
but they're only focused on black people though. So they're only focused on black people. They're not focused on the fact that, you know, there's racism against Asian, against Latino. I mean, they're only trying to separate black people. They're only trying to push us to the side and put us in a box.
or
whenever-
they'll pull out
Wait.
because I was watching the interview with what's this clown name? Ben Carson.
Oh God.
Nah, I don't even like.
Don't get me started on him.
And then he was saying, oh yeah, you know, black in Chicago, it had 10 people killed. I didn't see no black people come out. They only come out when a white man, a white
liar, because there's always protests going on in Chicago for death.
That's what
They just don't put it on TV.
Yeah, because they don't cover it. They don't friggin' cover it.
They don't. Because that's exactly what I said on the comments. I was like, well, there's a lot of protest. It's just that the media don't cover it. And, you know, they blocked me, but that's fine.
They're constantly finding ways to divide us, you know what I mean? Or ways to say what we're not doing. You know, if you think about it, once upon a time, a college degree like guaranteed you a job, right? Black people
not if you're black.
Black people started getting college degrees. Now a college degree don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's because black people started getting it.
Yeah, because
that's
we
exactly
got
the
it.
point.
We got it. We went and got what you said we needed. You know what I mean? Because that was your division. That was your reasoning for giving this person.
And to be clear,
this person straight out of school. They were giving people straight out of school, you know, vice president jobs versus someone who's been with the company for 20 plus years. And they'd be like, oh, it's because they got a college degree. So people started going to college. You got like people in their 60s going to college. You know what I mean? And now you got a college degree. It's nothing.
No, they use the term experience because
you need experience.
Like how am I going to get experience? I need to go work somewhere to get that experience.
Right. So
free all the time. You come work for us for free.
Exactly. So the college degree though, the college degree is still good in some circles, but it's only certain degrees though, right? If you're going to be a lawyer, if you're going to be a doctor, anything else, but certain other degrees, they're not trying to, they're like, and that's the majority of people who don't have a lawyer or a doctor, they're not a doctor, like, you know, like a medical doctor. Majority of people don't have that degree. So they're really separating like really hard with that. They're really pushing that.
Well, they really banked on the fact that, you know, with college, you do have to pay. And back in the day, most blacks didn't have money to send their kids to college. You know what I mean? So the college degree made a difference because you have a small amount of people who are coming in who are white and they have the college degree. And then you have this large amount of black people who are coming in, they don't have it. This is the way to pick through the white people and only keep the white people. Yep. Well, then scholarships, you know, like we found a loophole. There's scholarships, things like that, you know. Kids started going to school. Kids started getting them degrees. And now you got an influx of everyone with all these degrees. And how are you going to wing through it now? You know, they have to find stuff like critical race theory. They have to come up with crap like this. That's part of critical race theory right there. You know, there's so many things that they do.
Yeah, they have to come up with these ideas to try to separate us from the truth, you know, to try to break us apart again, try to make slavery a part of critical race theory in a different way where it's really not the way it was meant. And they try to scare these nice white people out in the suburbs, the non-urban people, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm glad you say that. But let's cover Lola first. Now you need 20 years experience. and a degree fresh out of college. But
Yeah, that's the new move, right? That's the new move.
You're
remember
supposed to
when
be interning while you
can't
in
win.
high school. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
interning.
you're 24 years old with a college degree, but you have to have 20 years experience. So when you was 4 years old, you should have been working.
you remember when that guy that was in the White House was scaring old white women and middle-aged white women, saying you don't want them to move in, you don't want the urban people to move in your neighborhood. You
Your
don't want
neighborhood.
if Cory Booker win, if Joe Biden win, all these urban people gonna come moving in and destroy
Moving
the
and
neighborhood.
destroy the. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know?
Where is that happening? I don't see it.
Hey, hey,
What's that? Did any of y'all ever watch that series Them?
yeah, I
Oh
watched.
yeah. I started.
You know what I
I
mean?
didn't
Like that
finish.
was
I'm still in it. Yeah.
yeah, they got a little fictional with it, but that was based on real things and real occurrences that happen that people just don't
Yeah,
realize what they
and
did.
we as black people, we always, well, a lot of us anyway, we always want to move out to that nice, quote unquote, that nice area where they don't really want us, just because we have the resources to move there, meaning financially can afford it. We may be well read, we may be very articulate, whatever you want to say, but
I'm
yeah,
one of those Negroes.
right. But
No, you know exactly what it is.
but they
We
don't want us
move,
there, and we didn't do
we
anything.
move.
Yeah.
We
It
didn't do
ain't
anything.
just them though.
We just want to live. But we
Let
just
me
want to
tell
live.
you,
We
let me tell
do
you,
move. We can't blame it all on them. We do be moving
I'm
though
saying, yeah, I'm
because
saying,
of
yeah,
yeah.
our people, our own people.
me,
If we
No,
get too much
but
in the neighborhood, our own people will do us in. So that's
I'm not
why the
saying we shouldn't
majority
move.
of
I'm
us
not saying we
move.
shouldn't move. I'm just saying they don't want us. I'm not saying we shouldn't
oh yeah,
move.
Oh
I'm saying
no.
they don't want us.
you know,
They
Some
just
of
don't
them
want
want
us.
us. Some of them
Yeah,
want us.
they
Some
don't
of
want
us
us.
want. Some of them
us.
want to see that chocolate walking
Oh,
by. You know what I mean? Some of them sit on
they
their
want to look.
porch.
They want to look
Some
strange.
of them sit on their porch
Let's
and
strain for some strain.
daydream.
Let's
They
strain for some
want to look
strain.
strange. That's it, huh?
But I
Yeah.
always promise myself that if I got some money, I'd never move out of the hood. I got some money, now it's gone. No,
You didn't sell
He's
out,
a
did you?
runner.
You
He's
didn't
a
sell out,
track
did you?
star.
Is
He's a
that
I'm
runner.
just
He's
saying,
a
I got
track
that from Friday. They
star.
always want to say that. But when I win the lotto, I'm gonna stop talking to some of you Negro. No, I'm just
Did you go to a deluxe apartment in the sky?
But it's non-urban.
Non-urban
But it's
neighborhood.
true what
yeah.
Andres was saying about how the black people was getting degrees and helping out, but I guess they stopped that. They now don't recognize it no more
Mhm.
because they know they was getting smart and
Yeah.
getting all helping other
They
people
were
in the
they were sitting there
that-
getting all them people off of jail out of jail that was in there
yeah
incorrectly. They were
getting
helping them get
they-
doing
stuff
taxes,
overturned.
people taxes,
You know.
all of
they,
those things
they always find a way, even
all the
before
time.
that. Before that, what they used to use before that, what they use your credit. Like if you had bad credit, you couldn't get a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna fix my credit if you don't hire me. I mean, you're trying to
So
keep me down. And that's where the whole thing with critical race theory comes, because we have to look into why they make certain rules, why they make certain laws. It directly affect us as black people. They directly put obstacles in our way so we don't get better. You tell Shaniqua she can live in the projects, but her baby father can't stay with her. You tell her she live in the project, but if she make 20 cents more, you kick her out, take away her food stamp. How's she's gonna survive with 20 cents more? How is that helping?
And there goes the family.
Exactly.
There goes the family
Race.
unit. The family unit. Now that dad, he wants to move in and be a part of the family, but because he's not, financially stable, or he can't get a job for whatever reason, maybe he just came out of jail or whatever, and he wants to get back with the family, and she's getting a little something from the government. If he goes near that house, they're gonna take the money away. So they're keeping the black family apart on purpose. It's designed to do that.
It's systematic. It's set up.
What about how before when you wanted your kid just to get a better education, so
they put you
they would go to school from somebody else's house so that they could get a better education. Like they actually hired people to go sit in front of these people's houses. They will go sit in front of your house and spy on you like a private investigator. You know what I mean? Just to be like, oh no. And then they get to pick and choose. Like I did it because my daycare was closer to my kid's school. Like my son went to school late one day. Do you know the school called me and was like, we're letting him come to this school, on the fact that we want to allow him the opportunity, but we don't want him coming to our school if he's going to be tardy. That looks bad on our school numbers.
You're like, what?
I'm like, what?
I'd
Yeah,
be like,
Like they
yeah.
literally told me, like,
I'm like,
if they let him come to the school, he's literally got to be like a perfect student,
man,
because it's a privilege to come to the school. And I'm like, a privilege? Like it's
wish
public
that was
schooling.
me.
What you mean it's a privilege to go to public schooling?
I wish
How
that
can it
was
be a
me. Me.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
No,
They
I
try to
gotta- I
act.
mean,
They try to act like it's because of zoning for sports, but it ain't
Sean
about
would
the
have been on
sports. It has a
wavy
lot to
pens.
do with the students.
So I got a question though. If they succeed in a lot of these states, and I'm saying mainly red states, with not teaching history, right? Is that a path to normalizing racism? What do you guys think?
But
definitely.
they just banned. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
banned the critical
Yes.
race theory, though,
Look,
right? They
look, look,
didn't.
look at what's going on.
Teach it in school, and not only that, they don't want to teach about racism, or they don't want to teach about slavery itself in school. They're passing laws in states like in a lot of the red states like Texas and Georgia of
Mhm.
forcing school districts not to teach about slavery.
Yep.
And also voter suppression, because if we vote people in, these are the people that's going to be
That's
like, hey,
what I was gonna go to. I'm glad you did. Let's take a quick break and say, hey, if you ain't liked the live yet, go ahead and like it, please. If you ain't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Also, share on your social media. Please share on your social media so that other people can join in the conversation. AGP fam, I need y'all to get more active in the comment section. We want that love, man. We want to feel that love. I don't feel that Harlem love right now. I don't feel that Harlem love. We want to feel that love in the comment section. Voting. You know what I think about voting? I think that a lot of our ancestors, a lot of people died, shed blood for us to vote. And I think it's ridiculous that black people think that their vote don't mean anything. If
yeah.
your vote didn't mean anything, they wouldn't be spending hundreds of millions of dollars yearly to stop you from voting.
Yeah,
I vote because of that. A lot of people might like. I know a lot of people that I work and they say they vote, but they don't vote Democrat or Republican. They vote like for the
Best interest of my family.
they vote for the other one. The
Independence.
yes,
That's stupid.
and they was
yeah.
like, well,
There's only two
voting.
parties in America.
Well,
Okay, there's only two
How
parties in
you
America.
voting?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense to
Yeah,
me.
it's stupid. Why are you gonna vote for somebody you have no chance?
No, yeah, you don't have no clue of the person. At
No.
least the other two you know about.
I have arguments with people about this the first time when Hillary lost, because as much as people talk crap about Hillary, she was probably the most
Qualified.
qualified person ever be
Smartest.
in America. I don't know how smart she is, but I know she had all the credentials that you're supposed to need plus more to be a president. I mean, look at the last president. He was a douchebag from hell.
Yeah, shall remain nameless, but we know the dummy.
Yeah, we don't talk. I don't call that guy's name. But anyway,
Insurrectionists.
Yeah, that one.
The one that led a mob to tear the country down. But anyway,
and still pushing it right now, dummy.
That's what I wonder about people sometimes. I vote for the best interest of myself and my family.
Yeah.
I vote for what seems like it's gonna be better for me. Because at the end of the day, I know the risk of me not voting is putting a guy like the guy that was in office again in procedure to cost 600,000 people their life. Look how much people died the other day because he mishandled something. He's incompetent. He mishandled a situation that my 13-year-old son could have handled that better than him.
Pretty much.
Seriously, my 13-year-old son could have handled this situation better than him.
I'm just trying. I'm still. I'm
But
at a
but that but
loss
that
for
but
what
that's
really
how but
happened.
that's how they want us to think, though. They want us to think like our vote don't matter, it doesn't count, and they're winning, they're succeeding at that.
Yeah, they're trying to make it not matter now for
Yeah,
real.
yeah, and now they're bold about it. They want to put it into law. So you have to go out and vote, because these are the people that's putting out the like, even voting for the school board and all these things. These are the people that's putting out the books and what your kid
Hmm.
learn. So if you don't go out and vote, we can't sit here and complain about our kids not learning the proper education
Eh,
or the proper tools in life, because we're not going out there and having a voice.
Yeah,
And without that voice, we're going to be sitting in the same place. And like Sean said earlier, why are they spending millions of dollars on elections and everything if it didn't matter? Sometimes you just have to think about it. What we're doing. So we have to go out there and vote.
yeah. I mean,
Definitely.
voting is essential because what these guys are doing, and I'm just gonna call them out. Is these white guys in these state houses, these governors and mayors of these states, where obviously people of color are in all these states, and what they're trying to do out in the open is really suppress people's votes. And what I keep saying, while we're not in shackles, they can build a system that really inhibits us. They can build a
Hmm.
system that really prevents us from doing a lot of things, including voting, or making it harder, because they know a lot of minority people work 9 to 5 jobs, and getting off work to go vote is really hard. I'm at a loss as to why um, voting in America is not a national holiday. In any state that you have to vote in, should be a day off work for everybody in that state to go vote, or they should allow you time from work to go vote, or they should keep doing weekend voting. 24
Well,
hour voting is not unreasonable either.
if I'm
I,
not mistaken, though, voting day, that is a day where you can be late to work and aren't supposed to,
I,
that
I,
day.
but people do get in trouble.
Legally, yeah, people
Yeah,
get in trouble,
yeah,
but
yeah,
legally,
legally,
they
yeah,
did
well,
they did make that,
yeah, yeah.
let
I
What's up?
think
be,
like every other
just because
first
you may
world
be at you may be at a job that ain't playing it, you know what I mean? But like
Exactly. So
legally,
they they
they
they
are
say it,
supposed to.
but it doesn't get enforced. Or if you try it, you may get punished for it. Right. So we have to.
Yeah, but
So
you know what I mean? Like we need to stop making excuses too, honestly, because I've been late to work because I stopped at McDonald's to get me a combo. So
yeah,
if you
well,
really want
well,
to
well,
make it
true.
happen, you need to make
That's
it happen.
true.
Like people
wait.
do
So
we and
I get that.
that's I
I
do want to
get
say
that.
this though. That's why a lot of people are in fear of this critical race theory. Because you do, unfortunately, we do have some people. It's far from it, but like they categorize us off of the smallest portion of blacks. If they make you tell that all blacks are poor,
I always say that.
scoundrels, and
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that, so they base it off of that by itself. That group of people, there is going to be a group of people who want to just act like these are excuses, you know what I
But that's
mean?
in every
Like,
race,
but
though.
that's
But they just
not.
put it on. That's in every race. That's the thing. It's in
Yeah.
every race have their little dirt bags. Every race has dirt bags, but they try to
Yeah.
make it like for some reason the black race we have a monopoly on dirt
All
bags.
we,
No,
They don't
every
they
race
don't they
has a
don't
dirt
do it.
bag.
They don't do it. We do it to ourselves as well, is my
yeah, we
point. You know
do.
what I mean?
And,
Like
and, and I don't
we
and I
we
don't I don't
do it,
disagree with
we
you.
do
I
it
don't
to
disagree with you on that.
ourselves,
I do not
like,
disagree with you on
yeah,
that.
our
Yeah.
kids aren't being, that's why I said it is, they said it's your responsibility to teach your kids,
Mhm.
because yeah, they
Exactly. I
may
agree
not
with
be
that. Yeah.
teaching them in school, but really you're gonna basically let a stranger teach your child life. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's,
Right. Yeah.
you shouldn't have that kind of concept. Like
Yeah.
we do have to take some kind of accountability and work on these things within. And I believe that's what the critical race theorists are doing, and they want to put it out to the schooling, because eventually the people who are working on it now are going to get older, and they're not, it needs to pass down. So the more they educate, the more people get into it, and the more they'll actually have, like backing on it to do this research and to get these things done. But if they
Yeah.
put the ban on it like they trying to do, you know what I mean, then that means that it will only be transcribed through
Yeah.
things like podcasts and, you know,
Yeah,
So
and
you're
behind the
saying
scenes.
we can't have one big happy America? Oh, man.
that won't happen. So, so Lou said, racism is as American as the Constitution, which is a fact.
And apple pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not teaching the truth about racism will allow it to perpetrate in the age of knowledge and information when the control on this message is just releasing. Hey, see, the thing is that we can come up with all the excuses that we want. Let's touch. Mr. Research is here. I already know what you're gonna come with, so we're gonna attack that in a minute, Mr. Research. I'm not ignoring your thing because I have what you just said a while ago. I don't agree with that, but I'm gonna get there. But when it comes to election, I have a lot of friends, right, that are very successful that didn't go vote in years, came up with all the excuses in the world of why they don't vote. Tell you that, oh man, I just couldn't get it off. You own the business. What do you mean you couldn't get off of work? You make your own time.
Yeah, that's
So,
asinine. That's just not cool.
I had to do this. I didn't do this. I didn't register. I registered for voting isn't updated. Like, bruh, that's not hard for you.
No, if you have a license, and you already registered pretty much. If you went to DMV to get a license, you right there, you check it, you can register right there on the spot.
People don't take local elections seriously. They don't. They don't.
And they're the most.
I vote local elections. I do my research.
What Sean say? I vote in all the situations.
That's where it starts.
Don't be a Lola.
I'm a firm believer in if you do not do, you should not speak. You know what I mean? So if you're not out there actually actively going to vote, that is your responsibility. That is your right. If you're not actively going out there and every day giving a better image of a Black person, then those are your responsibilities. Those are things that only you can do, and that's what we need to put the focus on too. A lot of people do want to
people are quick to complain.
Voting information, knowledge of research of the candidates, yes, but I will say I research the candidate. When I moved to Virginia Beach, I researched candidates, the school, everything, because I wanted to know, because I know in Portsmouth, but when I came here before I voted, I researched and did a lot of research and found out certain things people do for the schools. And this one lady, she didn't win, but she do a lot of things for the schools in Virginia Beach and stuff like that. So yes, people do have to do their research.
Well, too.
The thing is, when it comes to that, as Blacks, we often, when the candidate that we want to pick doesn't seem to go to win, we often say, we're not going to bother with it. I have a lot of my friends, I wanted this guy to win. Like, I wanted a Bernie, I wanted this guy, I wanted that person. And then all of a sudden, they don't want to vote anymore. They don't want to do any of the stuff that is, come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, we all don't get what we want. And if that was the case, we all would be quadrillionaires, quadrillionaires, and infinitinaires who will be living in Mars and in different galaxies all over the place. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
so
they'll let the perfect be the enemy of the good. But anyway, so people don't vote. As soon as something changed, some rule or law change that affects them, they'll be the first one to complain, but didn't go vote, didn't make the effort, didn't make the time. I mean, even with early voting last year, people still didn't vote. We had historic turnout, and I thank God for that. But a lot of people still didn't go vote. Even with the amount of time that we had last year, they had mail-in voting this time.
Yeah,
I'm happy a lot of people used it, and so guess what? A lot of Black people voted, so now they want to change the laws because a lot of Black people voted. A lot.
I didn't use mail-in voting because I ain't trusted, so I went up there.
I put my mask on, and went down there and did my thing.
I brought my hand sanitizer and my mask.
Yeah.
I want my son to stand on the side and watch. And I put that in the machine and I made sure.
Matter of fact, that was the only
That election was the quickest vote I've ever had in my life.
Me too. Yeah.
I literally they if you realize they tried to scare us and say, lines are going to be crazy. COVID. They had people in lines wrapped around buildings way before election day.
Yep.
Election day, I walked in
I
voted,
voted before.
and
I
walked
voted
right
before
back out.
election day, and
I, I voted early
I
down the
voted
city
on
hall.
election
Yeah.
day.
yeah,
I
I
went down to
voted
city
on
hall,
election
I
voted.
day.
voted early because
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, I get a little bit conspiracy theoried out sometimes personally. I'm not gonna lie.
About
So
voting, yeah. And I went down there. I
about it
did my
all. So
thing.
I'm like, I don't want to vote in advance because what happens if them votes don't count, or if this? I want to do just like I've
yeah,
done every year. I thought that they were trying to scare us because of
I,
yeah.
bet, I
coronavirus and
bet, I
everything.
bet,
So
I bet,
This-
I bet people
I was
that
like,
didn't
if I
vote.
could brave and go into the grocery store, then and
No,
you know
that
me,
was
I
my
was
own.
going
That's the only
partying.
place I went last year was to go vote. I didn't go to the grocery store, but I went to go vote. That's the only
I
place I
went,
went
yeah,
in a building. That
I
was
went
it.
to
Mm-hmm.
vote days before it was voting time, and I agree with Lou. Like I said, it should be a holiday, like most first world
Mm-hmm.
countries in the world.
Yeah, we said that earlier.
We have,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have 300. We have 300 plus million people, and you have to do it in 20. You have all of us have to vote within a
24 hours.
24-hour span. That is stupid.
That's
It
crazy.
is.
Yeah.
For the so-called most industrialized country in the world, where we so much stuff that we do here. It's so
Don't be surprised. They do
uh,
it specifically for a group of people
oh,
because they know who can get off work, whose boss will give them the leeway, not hassle them, who always has transportation. Because remember, a lot of minorities do not. They have to get on a bus. They have to go across town if a polling place is not near them, which are trying to move them out now. They one voting drop box, no voting drop box. You got to get there. They're doing all this just to slow us down, to have us not be motivated to go vote. All of this to distract us. So we can't get distracted. Stay focused. Go vote.
I bet people that didn't vote.
And not just for president.
Yeah.
Oh no. In every situation, everything.
No, because if you
Everything.
notice, a lot of times, you don't get the publicity out there. Like, I don't know,
This is
like
funny.
y'all, we kind of just put it on ourselves. But you have to realize the way that it's marketed. Presidential election, they want
Money.
everybody to go out and
Yeah.
vote.
Hey,
It's like thrown in your
they're
face
coming to my-
everywhere.
They've
But
been
when
at my door.
when it comes to when it comes to the secondary elections, the local ones, they're not really publicized.
They're doing
like
better,
that.
T.
You
They're
know what I
doing
mean?
better because
People
I
don't
got
even know.
flies at my door. They're doing better. They're
Yeah.
doing a whole lot
They
better.
are. They
they're
are
doing better.
because we're being aware of this now. If you
Listen,
notice that
listen,
they're
it's
getting better because now they're putting it in our areas because
Yeah.
we are now seeing, like, when Obama became
money.
president, we had a Democrat as a president,
We
but the
went blue for the
Republicans
first time in VA. Matter of fact.
But
the
listen,
Was that
Republicans
when
had
Obama
control
got-
of that Senate and the
Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
listen, it's the money. Some of the great candidates don't have the money to push their information around. So what happening now? You have PACs and people that are putting out money. Like some of the people that deliver stuff to your door is not even associated with the candidates. They just want that particular candidate to win. There's large companies that know that, hey, if I have my thumb on this dude right here, he can create or stop some things that I want. He can open ways for me to make more money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my money behind him, back him in the community that he can get in, and we keep it quiet. We run it around in the area while me, you, and people that don't pay attention to what's going on in the city, in the area where we live at, don't get to realize that, hey, who is our sheriff? Who's the mayor? Who's the city councilman?
Exactly.
Like,
Who's
don't know. Yeah.
running the school board? You don't know none of this stuff. So because you don't vote for them. It's just recently people start getting to Mr. Research. I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of black men that financially put themselves in lanes to make money. You're looking at a few of them right now.
Yeah.
And also, when you have a system that hurts us or try to stop us from doing it, it's much more than us just putting ourselves in the lane. Because I could walk in the middle of the street, but if a truck ain't driving down, if I want a truck to hit me, and I walk in the middle of the street, if a truck ain't driving down the street, it ain't gonna hit me no matter how long I stand in the street.
Exactly.
So you got to understand that we got to stop as black people. If you are black, because all we seeing is this silhouette of somebody in a suit. As black people, we got to stop acting like we ain't out here trying to make stuff better, and we ain't out here doing good for ourselves. Miss us with that, my brother.
Yeah. And Mr. Research, kudos to you if you vote in every situation, all your elections locally, and if you stay active on your block. Kudos to you for that, Mr. Research.
Very true.
I do the same too, Mr. Research. That's why I could talk like that. Big talk with facts. Back it up.
Is that a baller talking?
Yeah. No, that's a man in the community talking.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Responsible guy in the community.
I mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
it local election is very important. Local
Very.
election because like T was addressing where we gave the presidency to the Democrats and
Nobody voted for
gave the Senate and
her.
Congress, gave the Senate and Congress to the Republicans. So no matter, and then you know, pause for a minute. Sometimes I do have to wonder: do Americans learn the structure of how the government work in school?
No, because I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
something about it.
yeah,
No,
yes,
Sean. No.
no, no, yo, no,
Well,
because I'm gonna tell you that was my favorite
Hold on, guys.
subject.
Hold on.
real quick, real quick.
Hold on. You're talking over each other. Nobody can understand what we're saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Because it baffles me that I see so many blacks on social media was blaming Obama for not doing this, blaming Obama for not doing that. You do realize that he needs the Congress and the Senate to sign off on the stuff so he can turn it into a law.
Well,
Well,
so,
He's
that,
not
well,
the
so
see
beginner.
that see
They
that's the
blocked
thing.
him
Like
from
most
everything.
most people do understand, but that's why I was saying earlier about people
I
have
don't
you
think most
have.
people understand because I
This is
see
what listen to what I mean. You
They
have
say
you
they
have to
say he's
do
just not doing it.
what I mean is you have to do your actual research because what happens is kind of like a chain effect and sometimes it's not even our own people, sometimes it's the opposing side putting the plug out there, and all it takes is for someone to say Obama didn't do this and it flies like it's facts. You understand? The same way, how many times did we see, rest in peace, I hate to say it, but how many times did we see Bismarck die? You know
the
what I
reason,
mean?
man.
People put out a fact and people just share it and then people believe that's the key, you know what I mean? But they didn't realize when election is, because before that election with Obama, those signs are put in certain areas where they want people to vote. They're not putting them in the projects because the rich people who don't want us to vote aren't going to come down there and say, hey, it's election day, vote. When we saw how that secondary election defeated Obama the way it did, we went out and we showed out the next time, you know what I mean? And people did go vote, and then, it's been a change since then. But that's why it happens. They put them in those highly classed areas. They put it at those schools, where they're in the highly rich areas. They don't
yeah,
want the black poor to know about it. They they
and,
they bank on us not doing it,
yeah, and to your point, Sean. As it relates to people not understanding how the system works, I think a lot of people, uh, present company excluded, are not really aware of how this government works. I mean, people that are not from America that are here gaining citizenship know more civics because they have to take that test to pass to get a citizenship. A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't know a lot of those questions. How many people are in the Congress? How many, Senate and the House? They don't know those. They don't know. So they need to go watch. What's that? They say on Saturday, whatever that law guy, that thing, the little cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm just a bill, whatever. They need to
Yeah,
go watch
yeah,
that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that commercial.
Schoolhouse
I'm
Rock.
just big.
Schoolhouse Rock. They need to go watch Schoolhouse Rock. Seriously.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got a 60-year-old friend. Good guy, great guy. I met him through doing stuff in the area. Um, he doesn't understand how this thing works. There's a guy that's doing pretty well for himself under circumstances of how he grew up. Didn't graduate. I think he left school at seventh grade, and but he can read, write, and he runs his own business. That's why I'm saying he does good for himself. But he doesn't understand that me and him had a big argument one time about Obama not doing anything for people. And he was like, all the bills that he said he was going to pass, they're sitting on the Senate and Congress desk. I said, why you think is that? You think he can go in there and sign it for them?
That's
Like,
how
go
that
pick it up.
works.
Go pick it up.
Yeah, he gonna
Like,
go in
give
there
me
and
give
sign it
this
for
pen real quick.
But you got to think about it. It's like one subject, you know what I mean? And it's part of history. So you get taught maybe probably about 3 months,
Let's
not even
hold up.
3 months. You get
Yeah.
taught and then you get one section of it and then it's never repeated again.
Yeah.
That's why we have to, I've said it before, we have to start programming our children to want to be a senator, to want to be a president. Like we kind of teach our children politics are sneaky. You don't want to get involved in that. We frown upon politics, but if we
Yeah, we got to stop
actually
making politics
put our
like
kids
it's
in
not
there,
like it's not a good thing because it's needed,
yeah,
right? It's needed.
it's needed.
Necessary.
Like
It's necessary.
it's two jobs in the Black community. I hate to say it, but there's two jobs that when you say my child wants to do this, or if a child says they want to do that, it is frowned upon in the Black community, and that's being a police officer and that's being a politician.
Yeah, because I
no
mean,
matter what, like people
we
will
associate them with criminals.
Yeah,
but what happens is we
in
have
the
to
industry.
we have to infiltrate. You know what I mean?
Oh no, it's time.
We got to
I
infiltrate.
agree.
You know, in order to take over, you got to infiltrate. You got to get in there. You need to understand how the enemy thinks. You need to understand what they're doing and what they're processing, and you got to be active and you got to do something about it. We can't just keep sitting on the sideline saying, "Oh man, jump, duck, move, swing, right."
Hey, Lewis said sometimes
we're gonna get to hold up.
We can't be reactive as a race. We got to be proactive, you know, because a lot of times we react to what we see people do, and it's already too late for us because they already push out that narrative, and we're fighting trying to recapture that narrative when it's too late.
I'm trying
I'm trying to figure this comment out by Mr.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like immigrants have those seats to push blacks out.
So isn't blacks immigrants also?
Whoa, who said that?
Mr. Research.
Mr. Research.
It's on your screen. Isn't blacks Dre, big up yourself, my brother. Big up everybody that's on the live. Like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share on your social media.
Can I address this real quick?
Hold on for a minute, short man. Can I finish? Share on your social media, please, so people can join in on the conversation. Yeah, go ahead, short man.
No, I'm reading this here. It says if immigrants have those seats to push blacks out.
I'm wondering if there are black immigrants out there.
Let's stop for a second, guys. So that's exactly what we're saying. We have to stop separating each other. We may have come from another land, but we all came from the motherland. We both took a different path. So let's be clear. Let's be clear. We're all black here, okay? Nobody has
one spot before that.
Nobody has a monopoly on being black. We're all black here. So let's just be clear about that. You know, I'm not sure what you guys are basing this on. It's like saying the Mexicans are taking your job. No, anybody can get it. Anybody can get a job if they're willing to work. Stop saying that stuff. Stop doing that. I
think what he means by that is, which is a problem in America, is they allow immigrants to y'all are, you know. I don't think he means the color aspect of it, but
you gotta clarify.
Immigrants.
Yeah, you need to clarify.
What I mean is immigrants can come over here and they can get certain funding, they can get certain grants, they can get certain incentives for coming to this country and helping them build.
They do for research. They do for HB1 visas for stuff to get jobs.
But I mean, what I mean. But you may be. What I mean is you may be basing it. But y'all may be basing it from you coming from your country. But there are like Chinese. I don't think he's trying to.
You got to clarify.
I think
he does have to clarify because
I'm trying to help him out here.
No.
But what I mean is,
I don't think
you've heard me say before.
He don't want to be saved.
You've heard me say before. Where like they come over with degrees and like from Africa, they come over with degrees and they have higher degrees than us here. And they're quicker to give them a job than they are us here in America. You know what I mean? Who's already been broken down by it. You have immigrants like Chinese and other ones who actually come here and they do get money to open up a store, to, you know, produce things that we as Black Americans here from this country don't get those opportunities. So I think that's what he's trying to say. But
yeah, we gotta stop. We gotta stop
Mr. Research here.
Mr. Research, you tell us what you're trying to say. We ain't gonna, you know, I'm gonna need you to clarify that for me because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to laugh at you. So I'll let you go ahead and clarify yourself.
I,
But
I
yeah,
ain't mind bum rushing Mr. Research. I gave him a compliment earlier. I ain't mind bum rushing him when he put a half comment like that up there.
yeah. Hey,
Oh
You
Lord,
got to, you got to,
he trying to come
you
in
got
and
to
speak.
clarify.
He trying to get a guest. He trying to get a guest appearance. That's what he trying to do.
Sweet Pisces. Uh, I understand. I was being kind of sarcastic when I said that because I see a lot of people online stating, "Well, he didn't do this and he didn't do this and he could have did this and he didn't do that." That's why I said that because it seems to the understanding that he can't do it by himself. That understanding seemed to not register with people too much.
He did clarify. Mr. Research, I saw your clarification. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I did not get what you were saying, and maybe I reacted to it, but at the time when I saw what you put up there, I had no choice but to come out at it. But thank you for the clarification, sir. I appreciate that.
The Obama Congress black man don't bankroll area as they should. Obama did 6 things for blacks, but anti-blacks talk lies to the public like KKK members would. Well, anti-blacks, yeah, sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
Yep.
If I'm reading what you're saying correctly, I could be giving you the benefit of the doubt here, but let's see. But
We starting to get him too much benefit of the doubt. He need to be more clear. You gotta be a little more clear, because we here.
Hey,
If
you
want to talk that
you
much,
getting it tonight, bro. You getting it tonight, bro.
Now you want him to be clear. But I think I'm not even going to say I think what you mean. From what I'm guessing from that is, we can be our worst enemy, and we do let people push ideas in our head that this person wasn't black enough for us. We let other people tell us when somebody is black enough for us. How the you gonna tell
who's the arbiter? Who's the arbiter of what's black enough? I'm trying to figure that out. Who's the arbiter of that? Who gets to say that?
They have a thing that Dr. Green used to tell me. My mentor, shout out to Dr. Green. She teach me everything I know. She have a thing that she used to say is that what she said is not all your skin folk is your king folk. She used to say that all the time. And her bright yellow self by heart was darker than Shaka Zulu.
I was reading a comment on there that
he wants to call in to clarify. Maybe you should get him the number.
Dre said anybody can get grants. Not everybody can get grants.
No, they can't.
But a lot of people can get grants. I think the thing is a lot of people don't know how to do that. That's what I was saying earlier when you was like foreigners can come in and get stuff. I know a lot of black folks that utilize grants to open businesses and stuff here right now.
Yes,
sometimes the information is not there, and we're not privy to the information.
Like when they come over, like they are given a package. Like I know someone who came over and they were given like a package with all of the listings of what they can apply for, what they can qualify for. They had a counselor who actually sat with them and helped them, get started, and then like we don't really get that. Yeah, it is out there, but it's limited to us, and that's what they're saying. It's limited to us here because they're making more room. It's you can go into real deep about that aspect, but I kind of understood what he was saying when it comes to that. The grants aren't as easy. They don't just give that money away, man. Come on now, man. We in America. They ain't just giving money away to black
people. And I want to say something too about Obama too.
You got to file for it. You got to know
about Obama too, though. Like you said, if they look at it and you got a Chinese immigrant who's here and they want to come in and they want to open up a grocery store, I guarantee you that Chinese immigrant will get the grant to open up that grocery store before Don Trey on the block.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't care and that's what he's trying to say. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, HELL thinks he will.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what he's trying to say.
100% I agree with that.
They make it easier.
100% I agree with that.
To a dog on the side of the road before they give it to us.
You don't know this Chinese man from a can of paint.
But you got to remember,
he's never even lived in this country. You can't even research his history. But you will give him a grant But you'll
because
pick out that Don Trey,
what do we always say,
had
Sean? The system
a
was
bag of
built.
weed.
The system was built to hold us back. The system was built to hold us back. So, like you said, T, they would give it to the other guy. The system
They
is
will
built
give it
to
to the
hold us
other
back.
guys before it was built to hold us back. And that's
let's not act like that's not the truth. We see it time and time again.
Yeah,
Time and time
all the
again that they
time.
keep
That's
doing
all
it.
I'm saying.
Can't
And
deny
I
that.
think that's what his point was. It wasn't to say that immigrants are purposefully coming over here and doing that. That's just what we see here in America, because we've been sitting here struggling, trying to get bank loans and all this kind of this and that to open up a beauty salon store. You know, me as I'm just gonna use an excuse. I want to open a beauty salon store in my neighborhood. You know, I got to go to this bank. I got to go to that bank. I got to go to this loan. I apply for this grant. They're like, oh, we've already used.
Guess what? And even if your credit score is great,
guess what happens next month?
They'll try to find a way to charge you a higher interest rate.
Yeah.
Other than another person coming.
Next thing you know,
try to find a way to charge you more.
Next thing you know, what happens? That building that I've been sitting here
it's gone.
trying to get, it's gone. And guess what's in replace of it? A Chinese person with either a hair store or a Chinese store. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're talking about when he says the immigrants coming over.
We're gonna have to drop a bomb for Mr. Research, because he hit the nail. You ain't lying, but we in agreement.
Yeah. I kind of understood what he was saying.
Yeah. You got it right.
See that, Mr. Research?
Last week turn out to be your best friend this week. I told you.
I made him understand you.
I told him he was gonna love you.
We can disagree respectfully, Mr. Research, and we can talk and have a good time and have a good discussion. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Call the number. Sometimes the numbers, when you call the number, you gotta call more than once, because I guess sometimes other people are calling also, and it doesn't come through to me sometimes.
To that point, when I go to the, I'm scared of white doctors. Like
me too.
Like I ask, like when I go to doctors, I'm not lying. I'm whatever, take as you want, but I ask either for like a either Asian or not even particularly Indian, because I am terrified of, don't get me wrong. I had an emergency section with my youngest, and it was a white doctor. When he came in, I gripped the bed like, he was like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you. I kept telling my sister, you better keep on.
Yeah, I mean, because I get what you're saying about that, because they don't listen to women, black women especially. They don't listen to them when they say, this is what's wrong with me. They have that bias already built into them that they know better what's going on with you than you telling them what's going on. They make all these assumptions and they don't actually listen to you. They just come in to treat you and not actually listen.
You have some out there that do listen.
I was gonna say,
I know a lot of them.
My husband have a doctor that is a white man. He's a Russian actually, and I have a
friend that's a white doctor, and he's a great doctor. So that's a guy that listens.
I think that people
listen to everything. Whatever
people need to do more. You need to conduct when it comes to your doctor, though, really, because I've worked with tons of doctors. You need to conduct it like a relationship. You know what I mean? You need to trust you. You need to trust your doctor. You need to. People are scared. They think, oh, my insurance card put this person on my card. This is my doctor. No, you need to actually schedule a new patient visit. You need to go sit down with the doctor. You need to talk to the doctor. Get that energy feel. See if this is someone who is going to understand you. And if they don't, dip. You know what I mean? You're paying them. But you shouldn't, too. I get why you're scared. We've been through like Tuskegee Airmen, like they, but it's
more black women die from C-section from having babies than anybody else. I mean, think about that.
Let's take a quick pause. If you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and hit like. Go ahead and share on your social media. Keep the love going on inside of the comment section. Mr. Research is on the line. Mr. Research, you here with us, brother?
Yeah,
Let me turn you. Let me put some more volume up on here so we can hear a little bit more. You go ahead and speak again, my brother.
yeah, I'm here with you. This is Mr. Research.
Uh, so glad that you call in. I hope you are enjoying the show out there. I hope you're enjoying everything that's going on. With us, we wanted some clarification from what you said, but I guess we got the clarification. But let's hear it out of your own mouth of what you was trying to tell us about the immigrants coming in and taking over seats and voting from blacks.
All right, let me get a little preface to all this. So before I say this, let me tell you why. So anytime I try to speak, I just come from the point of helping because I understand a lot of people don't have the exposure that I have had
Uh-huh.
over the decades. So I'm originally from the hood, but I lived overseas for 4 years.
Okay.
And then I came back to America, and then I became a conservative, and I got into the Black first conservative thought process, which
Mhm.
means that keep it here in America, focus on unions, but keep it here.
Yeah.
Also, I work with medical finance, so I research for a living. So when I'm not working out of just pure habit, I research wars, battles, kings, everything from the Celts, Franks, all the way back here to America. So when I talk about things, it sounds BS to people
Mhm.
because they don't understand all the dots that connect. So let me explain what I was saying.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Non-melanated immigrants, let's call them that, so nobody gets triggered. Non
Thank you.
I like that.
no,
I'm gonna use that.
no, it's all good. It's all good because people don't understand, and this goes to a brother with the glasses point. What justifies as black is those people who do not have a flag to run to.
Uh-huh.
They don't have grandmother's flag in Ghana. They don't have their grandmother's flag in Haiti. They are stuck only knowing flagless America. So we created black back in the Black Panther, James Brown days because we didn't have a flag. We didn't have a second or a third language. When everybody was talking about, I hate being black, I don't want to be black, we in the American understanding, we made black a proud thing to be. Negra, negra, negra
Mhm.
was a great thing. People start talking about it really means soldier. It really means royalty.
Mm.
I'm here in Oakland, grew up 2 blocks from where the Black Panthers originated. So
Okay.
with that said, the reason, and anytime I type something, try not to take it out of concept, but respectfully, not trying to be highbrow or nothing, because I could be wrong.
Of course.
But
I mean, and most of the time we're not. We have to realize a lot of it is entertaining. We have to be entertaining to the people that's online, so people can want to, stick around and have some fun with us.
that's what absolutely. That's one reason I chime in because I do respect y'all an echo chamber, but sometimes I try to slide stuff in that's out of what everybody on the panel is agreeing to.
Uh-huh.
So with that said, what happens is Pakistanis will come here and the first thing they'll do is run for treasure. Don't know nothing about America
Mm.
because they realize treasure is a weaker thing that no American really runs for. So they're more likely. Chinese, they have clinics in China to show their lesser people because there's 4 separations of China. There's the mountain people, there's the Hong Kong people who don't like being referred to as the rest of the Chinese, there's the goat people, and then there's the upper class. My point in saying all that is that they train the lower class people to come over here, and once they get off the plane, and I know because my sister works at the Social Security Department, they ask, "What can my cousin get?" Ain't even breathe 30 minutes of American air. Then you got the people who are Turkish. These people sometimes look white, but what they'll do, they'll sit up here, get all the welfare that they can, all the FHA loans, whatever they can, but they'll be riding around in the Maserati. So these are levels of the games that blacks don't pay attention to because respectfully, and this is why I say we don't bankroll enough. You gotta, and what I mean by bankroll, I ain't talking about making money. I'm talking about you gotta get a liaison to sit in Congress every day and work the agenda of anything goes. Anything goes got to put together about 100,000 or at least 90,000 to pay a dude to wake up every day and go down on the Congress floor, shake hands, kiss babies, and try to get the legislation that anything goes once pushed through. Because guess what?
We need our own lobbyists then, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm
Right.
saying. You need to breed them.
Every other group does that.
Mhm.
Even the people who, let's go back to the melanated thing, even the people who pretend to be melanated for a minute. I ain't hating Africans or Jamaicans or Haitians, but there's a lot of people who say I ain't black, but will use the Negro College Fund to their advantage.
Mm.
You even had Mindy, the Asian dark skinned actress. Her brother went on national TV and said he went to a traditionally black college and pretended to be black just to use the Negro College Fund to become a doctor, and then he wrote a book on how much he hated black people. Go read it.
True. I heard about that.
Yeah.
I refuse to read the book, but I did hear about that.
So
He need a good dose of different kind of medicine. That dude.
Candace Owens.
So these are levels of the game sometimes we as blacks don't get because respectfully we are too busy doing the steps of step and fetch it. This is why many of our women have said, you know what, I don't mind breaking bread 5-10G just to get their agendas pushed.
Mhm.
Dudes can't sit around, and I'm about to finish. Dudes can't sit around talking about what they don't like and try to say, I only work a warehouse job. I only work I've been here 5 years. I ain't tried to make supervisor yet. Well, supervisor and manager is when you get disposable money. So I haven't even finished college yet. I got 5 certifications, and now can't nobody say nothing to me in medical. So there are levels of the game you can do. And
Listen, I'm fully aware what you're saying with that. I'm on the same thing with you. You know, we like that 6-figure look, right? We like that kind of money. We like to get that disposable stuff, right? So I get what you're saying totally.
Well, my point in the disposable, like I gave 12G to the men's rights movement to help them close the loophole for something called father of records. That when a woman can sit up here, never even slept with a man, say he's the father, and then the government will attack him and seize his bank accounts and everything. Obama kind of fixed it, but we changed Tennessee, Chicago, and California. I don't even have any kids, but I donated that to the game to try to get it changed. I'm about to let y'all speak, but to the brother who said about anybody can get a job, down to the sister below with the ponytails, she's actually more correct, gentlemen. The EEOC shows black men as the most disenfranchised on their applications, the most blocked from hiring, and the most blocked advanced for the past 50 years.
Oh yeah.
If the black community was really about it, then that should never happen. Because when you was in power, you would have been hiring your sons, nephews, and whatnot, but you didn't. You just let them go figure it out. So respectfully, she got the better ace in the hole on that one. So I would love to hear what you guys. Let me be quiet.
I think
no doubt.
I think that don't hang up yet. I think that you was mistaking us when we were talking about the loans. We said anybody can get a loan. We're aware of the problems when it comes to job and also the loan. We know that just doing research, the information is not available to a lot of people unless they look. Some people don't have the ability to find. Some people don't get the chance to know about stuff. Me, I was blessed with a person that could tell me, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to do this. Walk me through step by step. There's people out there that don't know that they're actually loans that they can go out there and get and start businesses. I have a couple of my friends that's how they became thousandaires and millionaires off of opening their own business with loans and grants that
10,000 years.
You know.
But you gotta understand it is the luck of the draw.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I was lucky to have a person in my corner to tell me that, hey, this is what you need to do. And after
I knew somebody.
What you do next, But we have somebody in the comment section want to address something with you real quick because I was gonna ask you that, but I'm glad somebody else brought it up. He says, Mr. Research, this is Lewis. Since you're online, please define your conservative stance, please.
Absolutely, no problem. But let me also say this. You're also competing against countries that put banks inside of America that you Americans and you melanated people and me cannot apply to. So if you look at Chinese banks, you can't even open an account there, even if you had 100 stacks. because they only dealing with their people.
Yeah,
The
that's
reason
true.
why they deal with people is they give their people loans cash from the barrel, and even if they default, that property is now on. So let me put this thing with conservative. So when you see blacks on, and I'm not going to be long winded on this one. When you see blacks on TV or talking about conservatism, always ask them who created conservatism. You will find that most of them have no clue. I confronted several people, Tatum, Anthony Bryan Logan. None of them know. That's because they're only going off what anti-blacks have taught them. So I am of the understanding of Edmund Burke and John Adams. And what that basically means is kind of how we had it before NAFTA. Keep it here. Unions, unions, unions. Workers, workers create bigger families.
Mm.
Ever since we've gotten away from families and let Bill Clinton NAFTA, or really Ronald Reagan's NAFTA, start off, he killed all the unions in 1985.
It's true.
Then Clinton came and murdered everything and gave it overseas and to help China once again. You know, Nixon tried to help China too. So as a conservative, what that means is you want everything here for you and your children and your neighbors. You don't need to outsource. You don't need to. That's what conservatism is supposed to be. But ever since Fox News came around under Dick Cheney, it's been everything anti-black. So when you hear the word conservative, don't just assume that it's anti-black. It's really supposed to mean keep it here. Go read the book on Edmund Burke.
But they've relabeled that though. You know that they've kind of relabeled and kind of taken over that. You know, taking over that whole moniker. You know, they're like this. That's
Candace
their thing
Owens,
now.
you know, you have your Candace Owens and people like that come on TV and play the token black disrespect the black the black movement, disrespect black people by saying token stuff that white people want to say, but they won't say it. So they get the token black person to come on their network and say it for them and then say, "Oh, they spoke so elegantly. I agree with her. She should run for president."
Ben Carlson was one.
There's no such thing as a relabeling. What it is there's not enough of us and Amazing Lucas, people who call out the inconsistencies. But there's only a relabeling if you, the audience, believe there's a relabeling. When you create something, let's call it Anything Goes. I watch Anything Goes in 2021. You can't come later and talk about this is Anything Goes Part 8. No. Anything Goes was created. That's what the standard is. So
well, let's say they've taken it over altogether and made it something totally different, and you know another boogeyman that they've built pretty much.
Okay,
that's true.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
no problem. Well, I'm gonna tell you, beware the Democrats because you almost got that law on bail passed by Joe Biden, Proposition 22, I believe it was, or 18.
Mm-hmm.
That would hurt you guys more than all the private jails because it would have had you languish in jail until your court date, even if your court date took to up a year. You'd have served that whole time while the state made money off of you. So the evil boogeyman goes both ways.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Nobody's exempt. Nobody's exempt.
I don't, Mr. Research, I don't, you know, I guess sometimes I have the tendency of doing this. I don't explain the other half of me. I don't ever consider myself a Democrat or a Republican. I find myself voting Democrat all the time because to me they're the lesser of the evil. You know, sometimes I vowed that I would never vote for Joe Biden, but after the maniac that was in office killed so many people, I could not help myself but to go vote for Joe Biden because at the end of the day, as any rational person, and it seems like you're a rational person. So seeing the stuff that this guy did throughout his presidency, no matter how much of a fan or a sycophant of him you are, there have to be a limit that you got to say, this is ridiculous. This is wrong. And when people are not doing that, that leads to a whole bunch of other nonsense. But when I pay attention to guys like Joe Biden and a lot of the destruction that he have done in our community, I still think he should be held accountable for it. And I think that he's only president because we had a pandemic. I'm sure if a pandemic didn't hit, the maniac would still be president today.
Well, here's the thing I'll say. For all the people who hate Trump, I just want your president, whoever y'all believe is better than Trump, make sure they pass better bills than Trump. Okay, I will agree with you about Trump on the optics, but make sure that they're better bills. It shouldn't have took that long for.
Now. Okay, so let's talk about the bill situation. So we know the president doesn't have any power. Let's be clear about that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any power. It's this Congress and some of these guys that come with the notion that they're there to just stop stuff from happening and not making it progress or anything.
It's a chick from wherever she's from.
Yeah.
I know her name. I just hate saying that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so the Congress, some of these guys, they go there and they don't want to do the job. They go there literally to stop things from happening until they get in power. Then they want to do crazy stuff at that point in time. So I mean, there's and when they compromise, it's to the point of insulting, the people that are trying to do something that's going to benefit the most people. So I get what you're saying about the president, and he should do stuff. But at the end of the day, he's a figurehead. He doesn't really have a lot of power other than to maybe the bully pulpit.
Legislative.
He's basically the logo of the United States of America.
Pretty much.
It's like the Anything Goes logo. We make the rules, and this Anything Goes logo that you see up there, it just stands out. It does absolutely nothing unless we make it do it.
Well, I agree with all those fellas. Like I said, if you find somebody in Congress that you like, Jeffries is up there. The one dark skinned
Hakeem Jeffries, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
She's up there. If you got somebody you like, financially protect them. That's the key here.
Oh, definitely. I spent, the irony is that I don't think, I was telling Mr. Razor, me and Mr. Razor talk about politics a lot, also me and Sharpman, but I was telling Mr. Razor, over the last couple of years, I find myself donating $5, donating $10, donating $20, $30 to people over the last 3-4 years that if I go back through it and add up, sometimes it's a ridiculous amount of money because it adds up. Because every time I see the commercial, every time they hit you with that scare tactic, they send me that email and tell me.
Yeah, I get emails, boy.
And they call me sometimes and they hit me with a, well, are you sure that your friends are gonna come out and vote? $10 more will probably get about 6 more people to go. And I'd be like, okay, what number I need to text it to? And I do it.
Like I said, let's make sure you financially protect to the people who are listening to the replay, because it ain't about who you hate or who you like. It's who you financially protect. That's the side of the game that everybody got to really.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Obama only became president because because he had the loophole of the minority donor. Mm-hmm. And the minority donors were so big that it made Hillary Clinton cry that night.
Yeah.
He had to fly out here to San Francisco to Dianne Feinstein's house and baby Hillary Clinton and give her that role where she created 3 wars in 2 years: Egypt, Libya, and then she counts. So sometimes I come in the chat room and I say stuff. Remember, there's a lot of complexities to why I say what I say, and sometimes the one-liner is not.
Yeah, it's hard to articulate a good point sometimes in the comments. I get that. I get that.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we had you all wrong.
Well, we had you twisted just a little bit, though. Just a little bit.
I'm so glad you got up here and clarified.
I ain't sure. Now I do have to end an invite out to you to come on the podcast.
Hey, we're not gonna give you a pass though. Just be clear about that. We're gonna discuss you. We're gonna go back and forth. Yeah. We're gonna talk about things.
Definitely. We gonna go back and forth up here. We gonna have it's gonna be civilized, but we gonna go back and forth
respectfully.
I think Miss Afro Bangs is gonna lead all you guys to the promised land.
This guy, man. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Right, Mr. Sullivan. Right.
But yeah, man. Voting. We didn't finish up on voting. Voting is a key thing that I don't understand sometimes how people don't seem to get that it's an important part of what goes on in our community. And a lot of times I find myself arguing with some of my friends that I care about a lot. Like I respect them. I love them as brothers, even though we don't share the same blood. And I have to argue with them about not voting, argue with them about listening to somebody just telling them some nonsense and they running with it. I remember one of my friends specifically telling me that he didn't vote for Hillary Clinton because if Russia wanted a war, she couldn't manage it. And I said to myself, I said,
You
dude,
dumb. She have blew their behind out the water. You dumb.
if you did your research, you would know she's known as the warmonger.
She's a warmonger.
I will
She
say,
done nuke somebody behind.
I hate to
Man.
say it, but I honestly believe the only reason why Hillary Clinton didn't win and the only reason why we had a black president is because no man wanted to see a woman run this country.
No doubt. Even the white men didn't want that.
Even the white men, like
Even the
at
white
the
men
end of
didn't
the
want
day,
that.
that's the only reason why Hillary didn't, and the reason why Hillary did not win against
because they had the white man.
The next time, no, it wasn't that. It was that a lot of people saw how Hillary got too emotional when it came to Obama, and she like showed her butt.
She thought
and in the fight, against Obama, she showed her butt.
Obama. She was
she was.
She was
so it was like
on him, but she looked over and saw Michelle.
She underestimated him.
She would have got trash on that.
I don't know if y'all remember. She got real desperate. She was
greasing her face.
She was out in Boston. She was out in Boston chugging beers with the locals. You know, like she was doing too much. You know, and I think she showed her butt. And when it came back time and she tried to run again, people were like, "Nah, we ain't going for that, Hillary."
Yeah, man.
She definitely did a lot of damage because I remember what she did, and she went out.
And then
she showed them horns came out.
She went and talked some crap about Obama, and then she was like, "I guess we'll hug it out later. We'll hug it out when we see each other." I'd be like, you know, you know what I hate when people tell you that it's just politics. Getting people
I know, man. That's
getting people locked up in jail, destroying people's family is not politics to me. That's a crime.
That's a crime.
That should not be on the table. You can't, and that's how you see a lot of these politicians, you know, disrespect somebody's family, call them all kind of names, and then you come and want to be civilized with me. Like, no, you already done passed that place. You already done called my wife, my kids out, all this stuff.
I mean,
and I'm like,
they would be dishonest just to win. I don't appreciate that. I don't accept that. You have to be dishonest to win. I don't appreciate that. I do not accept that. That's not cool.
I mean, but that's another fairy tale, short man. Like you can't, like people love to be like, I'm 100% honest, but that
no. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about honest. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say you gonna have to.
How they going at people?
You gonna have to lie. You gonna have to. It's a popularity. No, it's some of the
lies are crazy though. Some of the lies are real crazy.
You have to understand. The politician race is more of a popularity contest.
It is.
You can't really. You can't
absolutely
say how you 100% feel. You can't really. You have to put out this image
because I'm perfect. If I run for office, I'm perfect.
I'm perfect.
He gonna tell the most lies too. He gonna tell the most lies too.
I'm gonna mute this guy. I'm gonna mute this guy for my business out there. I'm mute this dude.
No.
I'm perfectly imperfect. You know what I mean? But they you know, like we.
Why you voting for Sean? I'm be like, hey.
You know, y'all men say it all
honestly,
the time.
I'll be on it. I'll be a politician. I'll be like, his mom is eating down the street. She's at the all you can eat buffet all the time. I saw her all the time. I see her.
Yo, you're on there talking gangster stuff. You guys are snitches, rats, hoes, tricks. Vote for me.
All you hoes better get out of here. Get all the hoes out of here.
In the restaurant, like, oh no, he real.
I like him. I don't even know how to bring up a bill to get signed when it's time to sign.
You know what you gotta do as a politician these days? You gotta be bombastic, man. You gotta call people crazy names, talk crazy to them, say all kind of stuff. True or not, just make up stuff. Oh, he's an idiot. And I saw him last week down in the corner talking to somebody. What was he doing? I don't know. He was talking to somebody though.
I'm saying too true. Listen, Andres. Like I am a very direct person, and a lot of times I should not be. But I also do know within time, there's been times where I wanted to be honest with someone, but I knew it would hurt their feelings. So I
Let me tell you
So the
something, man.
back of it, you know what I mean?
It's
Sometimes
like
you gotta be. You men say it all the time when your woman says, "Do I look fat in this?" And you know if you say yeah, she
Come
gonna
on,
throw the
really?
shoe at you.
Hey,
Come
my
But
on,
girl
if
man.
you
ain't
say
fat.
no,
My girl ain't fat. So I'm not lying.
there's a difference between little white lies and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
being,
We talking about
you
hurtful
know.
lies. We talking about hurtful
But
stuff.
we talking about
Hurtful stuff.
We
you
talking
not
about
running for
Yeah.
president. You
Yeah.
not
killing
running for president. You
600,000
gotta
people lives. That's
politics.
Like your daddy killed
Well,
JFK and stuff,
politics.
or like your
You might
daddy
need
killed
them.
JFK, stuff like that. Come on.
Yeah, you might need them. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with politics. Like that's why people be lying and creating that because you know this person got a belief you really don't believe in, but this person is going to fund you to get this bill in that you believe in. So you got to do little white lies and stuff like that. In politics, it's kind of like a lawyer.
I
You
know.
got
I
to
need more
lie to
money so
be
I
a
can buy
lawyer.
my own lobbyists.
Keep
That's what I
word.
need. I need more
Lie.
money.
You can't be a truthful lawyer. You know what I mean? It's a
What
liar.
a
Hey,
liar.
Liar. A liar.
Hey,
You know what
stop.
I mean?
My daughter wants to be a lawyer, and she better be truthful.
you
I
want to be
wanted to
a
be
liar.
a lawyer, but when I
Yeah, to
found
be
out
the very
that
You
you
can't
have
be a
to,
truthful lawyer.
you
You'd be a lying
can't.
liar.
You
Nah,
have to understand
hey, they be
if
lying out of teeth, boy.
you can know that your
I was
client
about to
is
say about to
guilty.
be the
You can
very
know your
news.
client is guilty, but because you
Oh
took
yeah,
on that case,
yeah,
you have to defend him
right. Oh yeah.
as if he wasn't. And
Yeah.
if you don't, you could lose your
Now,
stuff. You know what I mean?
there are some things now. If they're guilty, of certain you can really just turn them in. You can really turn them in.
Not
So
really. Attorney-client privilege is
there's some things.
mm.
There's some holes. There's some
There's
loopholes out
certain
there.
things, yeah, there's
There's
certain
some
things
loopholes
that,
out there.
you know,
All right,
Serial
guys.
killer can't be going around and be like, oh, he's a serial killer, and I know he killed 2 people last week. You can't go there. You can't do that. You can't defend that. He's got to not tell you that. You can't do that.
Look, a client can confess to their lawyer and tell them they did the crime, but the lawyer is paid to defend them. Understand that.
But you know what?
They can't turn them in.
That's a
They
fact.
can't turn them in.
Lawyer.
Sometimes
Because if you turn them in,
Yeah,
then you're
that's a
going
break of
against
ethics. That's a break of
attorney-private.
ethics. Exactly.
Yes, that's attorney-client privilege. It's a breach of
Oh
ethics.
yeah. I mean, but
Don't
there's
get it
limitations though.
twisted.
There's
No, it's
limitations,
not. No, you
Sometimes-
can say I don't want to do this case and help them find another attorney. But trust me, I was going to be a lawyer. I became a
You
nurse
quit-
because this
you-
was
you-
my mini career
You can
while I was in
quit
law
the case
school.
and walk away and turn them in.
Hey,
I was-
Sean,
And I had my first child, and I realized why I didn't want to be a lawyer because if I had
hey,
a
Sean,
I
client,
wanted to be a lawyer, but I couldn't lie like y'all be lying. So I
They-
I couldn't lie like that.
I'm
You
They
know?
say-
What's up, Razor?
please.
they say, Sherman, they said it's better to tell the truth. Your lawyer could better protect
Take
you
the halo.
when you tell the truth.
Well, they tell
I
me I'm in
can't-
the
I
wrong
can't.
career. I should be a private investigator. So
Be a PI.
Your husband told you that, huh?
Oh,
There's a lot of money in that.
Hey,
And PIs get paid, man.
Yes, they get
did.
paid.
They
Some.
get paid.
Growing up-
I
growing
did.
up, all I heard was you should have been an angel. You should have been an angel. You're just so perfect. I don't know why people always say that to me. I just
I
don't
don't know
know.
why people be lying. Was it a lawyer who said that?
Was it a lawyer? Lawyer?
It was a lawyer who said that to
See?
me.
Must have been.
You're,
Must have
you're one
been.
mute away. You're 1 mute
Oh,
away.
I'm sorry. Let me stop. Right, I already got HR on my back. Let me
Remember,
stop.
you got the HR at the work today.
You know, I might be filing for unemployment next week.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Go get the PPP
Razor
loan.
will-
Razor
Razor
my-
will be a good lawyer.
Don't be down with that PUA. You know what I mean?
I'm going for that one. 'Cause
Hey,
Razor-
I'm a good lawyer, not a liar.
Razor will be a good lawyer.
Razor be an excellent lawyer.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Will be a good lawyer.
So before we leave out, what can we do to fix this whole situation, man? How can we help our community by voting more, taking responsibility for our actions, teaching our kids more about their history, teaching them that we weren't always slave, because they seem to always start our story at slave when we were much more than that. We were much more than slaves. And while slavery was going on, there was still prosperous Black people running around the world. So how do we break this stuff to our kids? How do we teach them this? Comment section, y'all jump in there too, man. We want to see some of y'all comments too. Y'all give us some thoughts, what y'all think. Yeah, I know you
By
can.
giving them books. books, 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 books. I give that's just like my husband used to say that his grandmother used to punish him with books. That's how we punish our kids with books. I used to do that with my two oldest, but oh, okay, turn that thing off here. Read this book. That's why they know a lot of things. Even my youngest, like we start giving him books because you need to read, you need to learn about something because it's not about the game, the game, the game. You have to learn. Even sometimes I make them watch certain news. I make them watch CNN. I make them watch local channels, even if you don't want to, just to get a little bit of knowledge. Even sometimes, you got to watch your enemies close. You go to the Fox and you watch what they saying, and stuff like that. You just have to teach our young. And our young will teach somebody, when they go outside, they will teach somebody else. If they don't know, they'll be like, oh, I remember I read this book, and they can share their knowledge to people. Even grown-ups, us, can teach other people that don't know, or you, and some people might sound ignorant. It's just that some people just don't know. Yes, of course, there's people that's ignorant, but you have to teach them like, wait, no, that's not how it goes. This is how it is. And that person will go to, you just have to teach.
Yeah, I mean, we're all ignorant at some point. It just means lack of knowledge of a certain subject.
Except for me,
we can all be ignorant.
Speak for yourself. I'm perfect.
Again, like I said, we can all be ignorant at some point, lack of knowledge of a subject, and we just need to go out and do some research. And we teach our kids, man. We spread the word to each other like we always do. We get offline, we share, we talk to each other, and we share stuff. We just got to keep doing it in our community. We got to just, stop letting people try to fool us. Don't let people fool us. We got to go out and read for ourselves, do our research, and I think if we just focus on doing our research, we'll be okay, and not take the first word we hear on social media or online or on the TV. Do our research and read some books, pass it on to our kids. We'll be okay.
Yes, Lola.
Yeah.
Research and vote. We gotta vote. We gotta vote.
Lou said earlier, each one teach one.
Exactly.
Saying that we got to teach them. We just got
definitely.
Lola said, teach them not to rely on the internet for their answers. That's true, because the internet will give you a bunch of crap. You know what I'm saying? Also, Drayden hit us with the books don't really work. You have to make the information relatable. That's true. Dre speaking from a teacher aspect right there, because a lot of times people, the information be right in front of you. They don't want to read it. They'll like to hear it, see it, watch it, but they might not want to read it.
Just got to give them certain books that make them clear a little bit and have a little bit of fun while they reading it.
Well, I mean, some books are too academic, they're like super technical or super crazy, where the information is not easily digestible by everybody, right? So you got to kind of break things down. You got to break things down. Yeah.
Books are very
they have some books like can break it down and they make it fun.
It's gotta be to your level. It's gotta be to your level. If you're a little kid,
always great.
It's gotta be to your level. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to break it down, because and like you say, you got to know your history and do your research, because just because you're getting a book from the school doesn't mean that what's necessary.
No, that's not the book you want. Not from the school.
Yeah.
The school will give you what they want to give you.
I told you.
No, not the school. Not the school.
Daughters of the Confederates.
No, not the
they
school.
wrote those crappy books telling you that you were indentured servers, and that after you accomplish your chores and work, you go home to your family. No, you don't know where your family at. Because about great grandma, we don't know where she was at. We don't know where they took her to.
Yeah.
They have some great authors out there that you can find good books.
Yeah. All right, comment section, man. Throw your last comment. We're gonna do about maybe 5 to 10 more minutes, then we're gonna get up out of here. We did say, even though Razor always correct us, we did say 8 to 9. But Razor said 9
plus.
9 plus 9-ish.
The conversation was great. I enjoyed this conversation. I think we should probably do a part 2 here in a few weeks. Critical thinking part 2. I really enjoyed this conversation. I really like where this conversation went. I like all the points that you guys made. Ladies, you guys.
I want to tackle critical feminism next time and critical masculinity next time.
I want to attack you, old man.
Yeah, I want to attack. Nobody want to.
I didn't want to say.
Why you want to attack me? I want to tackle.
I want to say.
Why you got to get on the old man? I'm saying, man.
Come on, man. What's up with this guy, man?
I fight old people.
That's okay. Hey, they fight back too. I punch a
I
young
know
dude.
that's right. I know that's right. Sharp man. Don't let him. Don't tell him. Don't let this grave fool you.
Yeah,
Don't
boy.
let it fool you.
Boy, this years of fighting, boy. What's wrong with you? I knock you out, boy.
I watch a lot of WWE.
Oh, we used to call them Jamaica kickers. I watch a lot of kickers, boy. I know karate.
I'm
Do that
MMA.
suplex.
But hey, real talk. I enjoy the topic tonight, man. Y'all represented well. Ladies, y'all did the darn thing.
They
Fellas,
always do. They always do it, man.
you know.
Do
Shout
it.
out
Give
shout
him
out
a
to y'all, man.
Hey, clap it.
Shout out to
Gotta
y'all,
clap.
man. Shout out to y'all. Always show up.
Hey.
Y'all always show up. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, T
Talk
like,
about
where,
the
T,
queens.
hey,
The
T
queens,
said, where
y'all
my
always show
check
up.
at? Where my check at?
Listen, you always gotta go overboard. You always gotta go overboard, don't you? We got one more overboard from you, we mute you. One more. See you
Don't
at
let HR come for you.
See you at HR afterwards.
I already know I'm in HR afterwards, so you know I've been trying to hold it in. But I do want to say one thing we really need to focus on is I know we're saying teach, but the focus shouldn't be on teaching. It should be showing an example. The youth don't need to continue to be told what to do; they need to be shown. So we do need to play more of a part. You know, if we see these injustices going on, we need to find out what we can do to change these things. It may seem minor, it may seem minute, but
You know what I do? I take my son to go vote with me when I go vote. I make sure
yeah,
he's
but I mean,
registered.
like,
Take him to go vote with me.
There's more
if you
to
think of it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like somebody
Simple
whose
stuff.
parent made them go to a soup kitchen and volunteer on Christmas, maybe the person who set up a fundraiser, you know, in the future where they provide home and gifts, you know, like it's one little spark of what you do, not what you say. Because a lot of people do a
Example.
lot of talking and don't do
Examples.
anything. So we keep saying we need to teach our children. We're teaching our children don't do this, don't do that, but then we go do it. So we have to actually
Dre's so
show them that.
disrespectful.
Share disrespect, man. The disrespect. The disrespect. The indignities I have to suffer here. The indignities.
Hey man, first, hey, we ain't allowing nobody to join in on the old man jokes. That's it.
Hey.
That's only for the family.
That's an
Dre,
inside thing.
Dre,
You
when I
gotta have
come
his
to when I
shirt
come to
on.
Florida next time, Dre, when I'm in Florida next time, I'm gonna see you.
You gonna catch them old man paws, boy.
I'm gonna see you. Hey, I'm gonna do this before I see you. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you.
He ain't gonna get. Hey, he ain't gonna
Look,
get.
he said Mike Tyson's still in the ring. He still got it.
You ain't gonna get Scrappy. You gonna get Scooby.
All right, hey, see the retraction then, though.
Sorry, boss. Sorry.
Yo, big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself.
Respect to everybody out there. Support the channel as much as you can. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends about it. Come check us out when we do these lives. You know, we're giving great information, good content. We're not just up here talking a bunch of nonsense. We're not just up here talking ignorant and ridiculous. We actually do some homework, some research, talk from a real point of view, show each other respect, love working with each other. We have great chemistry. This is why we do this here. And we'll be back again Thursday night live to hear my perfect voice one more time. Just get carried away.
Thursday's a different night.
Yeah, Thursday's a different night where we get a little ratchet and righteous. You know,
different night
but,
altogether.
you know, still entertaining. Lola, big up yourself. Andreas, big up yourself. Dre, big up yourself. Lou, big up yourself. Everybody out there that's on the live, big up yourself. Mr. Research, big up yourself. We got a better
shout out to Mr. Research.
Shout out to Mr. Research.
I'm gonna unblock you from the email and send you tomorrow. Nah, I'm just playing. I never blocked you. I'm just kidding. But hey man, this is a great conversation. Again, I keep reiterating that it's a great conversation because I enjoyed it a lot. And before we get out of here, everybody that hasn't liked the video yet, please like it. Please share it on your social media so other people can catch up on what we talk about. And hey, everybody, we can continue the comment in the comment section. We can continue this debate, this topic in the comment section afterwards. We'll be at work. We'll be going to bed tonight. Throughout the rest of the week, we can continue this conversation because this is a never-ending topic. This is a never-ending conversation that we all have here. The AGP family would like to thank you all for helping us out with this conversation today, man. We enjoyed a lot.
Thank
R and
you.
R on Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna be back on Thursday.
Ratchet and
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I know
Ratchet
T.
and
I know
Ratchet
T.
first.
Ready for Ratchet, huh?
You ready for Ratchet? He was
No,
like,
that's ready too. All right, not on Thursday.
I was too righteous tonight. I gotta get my Ratchet.
Y'all know, y'all know I'm a
she-
big
she-
goofy man. Y'all know I'm a big goofy
She
man.
bringing her
I was
Megan
real
needs on
serious
Thursday.
tonight.
Ratchet and righteous.
You know,
She
I
bringing
gotta
her
get
Megan
my.
needs on Thursday.
Hey, one other thing. One other thing that we need to kind of talk about too. We need to show each other more love and more respect sometimes as black folks too. I do realize that the pot can't call the kettle black, but I'm a work in progress. I saw Cherie share something on social media today, and I know she was talking about me because I'm the one that said that to her. That if just because I'm fixing myself, don't mean that I won't put these on you. But I'm
Still get
working
these
on it.
hands. Still
Yeah,
get these hands.
I'm working on it. But
Violence is not the key.
it's never the key. But sometimes it's sweet and joyful. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah, man, we gotta work together as a team. I think back in the days when we had unity, when we had the Black Panther Party, when we had all those guys working together, even when Malcolm X and Martin Luther King,
When we had our own neighborhoods,
yeah, even when Malcolm X
our
and
own stores,
at odds doing their thing, we
whatever.
were more together. We had leaders, and I think it's time for us to start making more leaders again. We can be leaders in our community. We can be better leaders in our family, better leaders in our household, better leaders in our friendship, relationship. We can refuse to cast judgment on our friends, telling sometimes you do grow, but you never outgrow your real friends. That's just impossible.
Ooh.
I have friends that live on welfare. I have friends that are millionaires. I have friends that are opening supermarkets right now. I have friends that own multi-million-dollar restaurants and clubs. We all know who I'm talking about. I have friends that own trucking companies that are millionaires. I have friends that work at Walmart. But at the end of the day, they're all my friends, and I've never disrespected any of them or make any of them feel less of a person because I feel like I'm on a high horse. And we have to learn to start respecting and loving each other more because that's the only way we're going to get to this destination that we're trying to get to. So, quick thoughts before we roll out. Cherie, say something, then Short Man, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, Cherie.
Oh, what can you said everything? I like that.
I do talk a lot.
You did the, but yes, just to piggyback, we need to, yes, we need to learn how to uplift each other. Doesn't matter what we do in life, doesn't matter where we go, doesn't matter the status, doesn't matter. As long as we stick together, uplift each other, our kids will see that and they'll do the same thing. So everybody bless, and have fun. Come Thursday for R&R Thursday.
Before Sharp Man take over, Dre, you still ain't.
I wasn't laughing at what Cherie was saying, y'all. I was laughing at that comment I read. Our week
Still ain't ish, Dre. You still ain't ish. Not just last week, this week too.
Yeah,
He just had his Russell Simmons moment, man. Why he had it?
Yeah, we need to keep the conversation going. We need to do more with each other, do more for each other. Show a lot more love, a lot of respect, and just look out for our neighborhoods, man. We have to really be there and get involved sometimes. We always try to look the other way. Sometimes you got to get involved in certain situations to make things better. So everybody out there, I enjoyed y'all that on the live. Catch y'all Thursday. That's it for me.
Razor, throw something out there, my brother. Don't give us no weather. We know it's night and it's Hot.
I got my phone up. I was about to give the weather. Wednesday it's gonna be 92. Thursday it's gonna be 85.
Ah.
Oh, I cannot. I
Yeah.
cannot. I cannot.
But yeah, everyone, just like we said, we got to stick together, love each other, look out for each other, and that's all. That's a good start. We just have a love and care for each other, and that's all I have to put out.
T, go ahead and drop some T on these people.
I would say, first and foremost, stop being so judgmental of others. Stop being envious of others. Stop watching others. Stop worrying about what others think, and really, truly focus on you. Somebody else's path is their path. It's not your path. It doesn't mean that they're right. Doesn't mean that you're wrong. It's their prerogative. Let them be. You get so caught up in the judgmental and worrying about what the Joneses is doing, you're missing out on opportunities for yourself. So definitely focus on yourself, love yourself. And once you do that, everything else will just come naturally. The
Work it.
universe will bring it to you. I'm telling you, man, when you put yourself in a good space, everything's going to be there for you. You know what I mean? The right people are going to come in. Sometimes you do lose people, but understand sometimes you're losing people because that's opening the door for a new blessing in your life. Okay?
Oh yeah, I was good. I got carried
I
away.
was gonna say, what you doing over there?
I was just showing the Anything Goes podcast shirt.
Anything goes.
You got a new dance going on over there. I heard the
Anything
little
new?
jingle of the phone going on. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be here again Thursdays, and we gonna have. Well, we might as well announce it now. We gonna be doing little dance hall stuff on Sunday nights from 8 to 10 plus. Uh, me, Cherie, and Shortman, and a few guests gonna come through and talk about music and good stuff on Sunday nights because it's apparent that we're bored on Sundays, so we just made up another night. So, love you guys. Thanks for showing up for us. Thanks for the love. If you just coming on, you ain't like yet, hit like real quick. Share it out on your friends. They can start over the live. And remember, let's keep the conversation going on in the comment section. Let's keep this conversation rolling. All right. So just keep commenting in the comment section. We gonna be here answering you. We ain't sure about Razor. He might not answer you, but everybody else gonna answer you.
Answer.
We
Yeah,
out of
man.
here, man. Mad love, mad respect. We out. Big up everybody that was watching the live tonight. We out of here.